Chapter 435. It is illegal to lay your hands. Junior Sister Yun, my name is Zhuo Piaoyu. I am the true disciple of Peak Master Yuan of the West Peak. We're just bickering a little. Why make a big deal out of it? To put it bluntly, if we were to really start fighting, even a 4th level spirit-enhanced cultivator like you wouldn't be a match for Junior Sister Su. Senior Sister Zhuo's brows were tightly knitted together. Yun Chujia's actions were indeed very ostentatious. No wonder senior brother Feng Ming took notice of her. Since that was the case, she would let Su Yan teach her a lesson so that she can learn from it. Yun Chujio blinked her eyes. Senior Sister Zhuo, are you trying to mediate the fight or are you trying to incite us to fight? Why do I feel that you really want us to fight? Zhuo Piaoyu never thought that Yun Chujio would actually guess her thoughts. She looked a little embarrassed. Junior Sister Yun, you're really unreasonable. I was trying to mediate the fight and had good intentions, but you slandered me. Since that's the case, I won't care about your matters anymore. You can settle it yourselves. At this time, some of the inner sect disciples who passed by gathered around and pointed at Yun Chujio. It's Yun Chujio again. Senior Sister Zhuo is the kindest and gentlest person in our Spirit Radiance sect. I didn't expect that she would be so angry with her. She's really unreasonable. I've never seen Senior Sister Zhuo so angry. This Yun Chujio is simply too much. Yeah, what Senior Sister Zhuo said wasn't wrong either. She tried to mediate the fight with good intentions and was even slandered. This Yun Chujio is really unreasonable. Yun Chujio is a very arrogant and despotic person. The last time she used a flying spirit tool, not only did she beat up Moru and me, but she also used her foot to kick us. In the past, when we were in Yi City, she was just as vicious. Yun Chushan stood in the crowd and said, feeling wronged. When the crowd heard Yun Chushan's words, they became even angrier. This Yun Chujio is really too much. Are the sect masters and the 5 peak masters blind? They actually valued such vicious trash. If it was an ordinary person who was pointed at by the crowd, they would have long been unable to bear it. Yun Chujio acted as if nothing had happened. She blinked her eyes and said, all right, since Senior Sister Zhuo has advised me, I'll take a step back. Su Yan, come over and apologize to me. Also, pay me 10,000 low-grade spirit stones as compensation for mental damage. I won't take this any further today. Yun Chujio, what I said is the truth. Why should I apologize to you? At that moment, Su Yan had Zhuo Piaoyu's support, so how could she give in? Moreover, she felt that even if they were to fight, Yun Chujio was not her match. Are you sure you don't want to apologize? The corner of Yun Chujio's mouth curled up. If I don't apologize, would you dare to hit me? If you beat up a fellow disciple, you've violated the sect rules. Slap. Slap. Yun Chujio suddenly went forward and gave Su Yan 2 heavy slaps. Then, she kicked Su Yan in the heart. Su Yan flew more than 100 feet away and fell heavily to the ground. Su Yan was stunned by the slaps. She did not expect Yun Chujio to really dare to violate the sect rules. This girl hit her just like that. She was really evil. Yun Chujio patted the non-existent dust on her hands and glanced around. If you have the time to gossip, maybe you should go cultivate. If anyone dares to say anything bad about me again, I will make him unable to get out of bed for 3 months. If you don't believe me, you can try. Whether it was Zhuo Piaoyu or the onlookers, they were all stunned. This Yun Chujio was really bold. She actually dared to beat up her fellow disciples in the sect. Also, was Su Yan so useless? You are at the 9th level of the Spirit Enhancement Realm and yet, you were beaten up by Yun Chujio, who is at the 4th level of the Spirit Enhancement Realm. Yun Chujio, I'm going to kill you. Su Yan got up from the ground and pounced on Yun Chujio like a madman. Chapter 436, The Valiant Yun Chujio. At that moment, Su Yan's appearance was indeed like that of a madman. Not only did the hairpin on her head fall off, but there were also 2 bright palm prints on her face. However, She was dressed lightly as well. With that kind of fall, the 2 lumps of flesh on her chest almost popped out of her clothes. The surrounding male disciples had a feast for their eyes. Their eyes seemed to have grown hooks as they stared intently at Su Yan's chest. Su Yan was usually very glamorous. She had never been bullied like that. At that moment, she did not care about the rules of the sect. She threw 5 wind blades at Yun Chuzhou. Shuo Piaoyu was shocked. Yun Chuzhou was only at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm. She definitely could not dodge all 5 wind blades. She would end up either dead or injured. However, it may be good if she died so that she would not be able to pester senior brother Feng Ming anymore. Her master usually doted on her the most, but she did not expect that when he returned, 8 out of 10 of the 10 sentences he spoke were complimenting Yun Chuzhou. Was she not just glib-tongued trash? What was there to praise? Moreover, even if Yun Chuzhou died or was injured, the sect would still hold that idiot Su Yan responsible, and it had nothing to do with her. However, it was better for her to put on an act. Thus, Zhuo Piaoyu pretended to take a few steps forward as if she was going to help Yun Chuzhou block the 5 wind blades. When the onlookers saw that something was going to happen, some of them wanted to step forward to help, but when they saw that Zhuo Piaoyu had made a move, they retreated. After all, Zhuo Piaoyu was a 2nd-level spirit cultivator, so her spiritual power was much higher than theirs. By the time everyone realized that Zhuo Piaoyu had not made a move, Su Yan's 5 wind blades were already about to hit Yun Chuzhou's body. Yun Chuzhou, on the other hand, looked as if she had been scared silly. She actually stood still on the spot. It was over. Everyone could not help but scream. Only Yun Chushan and a few others there wanted Yun Chuzhou to die. Most of them only disliked Yun Chuzhou and did not want Yun Chuzhou to lose her life just like that. What everyone did not expect was that just as the 5 wind blades were about to land on Yun Chuzhou's body, Yun Chuzhou actually leaped up more than 10 feet off the spot. After landing on the ground, she directly kicked at the crazy Su Yan. Fuck. You actually tried to kill me. I'll kick you to death. I'll let you taste my little Joe's shadowless kick. You're actually still coveting my Prince Charming. You're really shameless. I told you not to spout nonsense. I told you not to slander me. I'll kick you to death. You're always gossiping. If you don't know how to converse, then shut the fuck up. I'll let you learn your lesson. The crowd felt as if Yun Chuzhou was kicking them from left to right. They recalled what they had said about Yun Chuzhou and could not help but feel a little afraid. This Yun Chuzhou was too valiant. Even if she was at the 9th level of the spirit enhancement realm, she could still beat her up. It was really strange. Was she not at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm? How could she be so fast? Yun Chuzhou kicked a dozen times and saw that Su Yan had already fainted from the kick, only then did she walk in front of the somewhat dazed Zhuo Piaoyu. Zhuo Piaoyu, don't think that everyone else is a fool. Your white lotus facade won't work on me. It looks like you're trying to mediate the fight, but every word is filled with anger. You can't wait for the 2 of us to fight. The reason why I dodged the wind blades so late was to see if you would come to my rescue. I didn't expect you to be so vicious to such an extent that you really didn't save me. It's fine if you didn't save me, but you made it seem like you wanted to save me to mislead everyone and make them give up on saving me. How vicious. I'll let you off this time for the sake of Peak Master Yuan. The next time you play tricks in front of me, I won't let you off. After Yun Chuzhou finished speaking, she walked away. This fellow thought to herself, no wonder the gigolo kept saying that he wouldn't let me off. This sentence was indeed very flashy, wasn't it? I even dared to scold that old thing Du Gai. You, a white lotus flower, are showing off in front of me. You're really looking for trouble. Chapter 437, We Can't Afford to Offend That Demon. Zhuo Piaoyu was robbed of her innocence by Yun Chuzhou. Before she could defend herself, Yun Chuzhou had already left. There was a subtle change in the hearts of the onlookers. Although Yun Chuzhou was a little arrogant, her words about Zhuo Piaoyu made some sense. If it were not for Zhuo Piaoyu taking the stance as if she wanted to save Yun Chujiu, they would have definitely attacked. However, she did not attack despite her stance. If Yun Chujiu was not fast, she would have been either dead or injured. Zhuo Piaoyu's eyes reddened when she saw everyone's suspicious gaze as tears fell from them. I really didn't react. I was injured during the training trip. I didn't expect junior sister Su to really attack, so I reacted too slowly. I have no enmity with junior sister Yun. Why would I want to harm her? Zhuo Piaoyu's gentle and reasonable image was deeply ingrained in everyone's hearts. When they heard Zhuo Piaoyu's explanation, everyone immediately believed her words. That Yun Chujiu was full of evil intentions. Perhaps she thought that everyone was like her. Zhuo Piaoyu was well known for being gentle and kind. How could she do the kind of thing that Yun Chujiu said? Seeing that everyone believed her words, Zhuo Piaoyu's eyes flickered a few times. Then, she cried out in alarm and pounced toward the unconscious Su Yan. Junior sister Su. Junior sister Su. Are you alright? Although Yun Chujiu had kicked many times, she did not use her spiritual power. Therefore, although Su Yan looked like she was in a sorry state, in reality, she fainted out of embarrassment and anger. After being shaken by Zhuo Piaoyu, she woke up. Junior sister Su. Where do you feel uncomfortable? Don't worry, Yun Chujiu broke the rules of the sect. We will testify for you. We will report to the patrolling disciples of the law enforcement agency of West Peak right now and seek justice for you. Zhuo Piaoyu said gently. Su Yan was so touched that she nodded repeatedly. Thank you, senior sister Zhuo. That bitch Yun Chujiu, I will not forgive her. Yun Chushan, who was in the crowd, curled her lips. What an idiot. Zhuo Piaoyu seemed to be doing this for your own good, but in reality, she had betrayed you as well. When the law enforcement agency interrogates her, Yun Chujiu had merely used her fists and kicks, but you've used wind blades. When that time came, the punishment might be even heavier than Yun Chujiu's. However, what did this have to do with me? As long as Yun Chujiu was punished, it's fine. Zhuo Piaoyu and Su Yan found the law enforcement team disciples who were patrolling the West Peak and told them about the incident. She thought that as the true disciple of the West Peak's master, these law enforcement disciples would immediately capture Yun Chujiu after she finished talking. Unexpectedly, those few disciples only agreed and did not do anything. Zhuo Piaoyu frowned. Why don't you go and capture Yun Chujiu? The few patrolling disciples looked at each other, then one of the disciples said, Junior sister Zhuo, if it was someone else, we would immediately go and capture them, but Yun Chujiu. Yun Chujiu is special. Zhuo Piaoyu was stunned. How is she special? Although she is a true disciple, isn't it the same as an ordinary disciple when a true disciple makes a mistake? It's not a matter of a core disciple. Manager Qian specifically told us that anyone can be arrested. However, if Yun Chujiu has committed a crime, we must report it to Elder Shao before we decide what to do. Zhuo Piaoyu simply could not believe what she heard. She sneered and asked, didn't you say that Elder Shao is impartial? Could it be that Yun Chujiu has some kind of relationship with him? Junior Zhuo, you've misunderstood. It's not that our Elder Shao has anything to do with Yun Chujiu. It's just that this Yun Chujiu has too many bad ideas. The last time Yun Chujiu was roasting a rabbit in the back mountain and was caught by Lu Qingzhen. In the end, it was Lu Qingzhen who was crippled and expelled from Spirit Radiance sect. On top of that, there was Luo Feng who wanted to harm Yun Chujiu. In the end he was killed by a mighty elephant. If we rashly go and capture her, we might even lose our lives. Sister Zhuo, please spare us. We cannot afford to offend that demon. Chapter 438, was in a bad state. Zhuo Piaoyu was confused. As a successor disciple, she naturally would not pay attention to Yun Chujiu, who was a handyman back then. Later on, she went out to train, so she did not know about these things. Seeing the determined attitude of these patrolling disciples, Zhuo Piaoyu said gently, in that case, I won't make things difficult for you. I'll bring junior sister Su Yen to the West Peak Law Enforcement Agency and wait for Elder Xiao to decide whether to arrest her or not. Hearing Zhuo Piaoyu's words, the patrolling disciples of the law enforcement agency were grateful for Zhuo Piaoyu's understanding and took their leave. Zhuo Piaoyu helped Su Yen to the West Peak Law Enforcement Agency and went to the manager, Qian Chong, to tell him about the matter. When Qian Chong heard that it was about Yun Chujiu, his head hurt. He still remembered the incident with Lu Qingzhen. This little girl was not to be trifled with. She might even bite him back. You guys go inside and rest for a while. I'll report to Elder Xiao and ask him to make a decision. Qian Chong decided to shift the responsibility to Elder Xiao. I can't afford to offend that little demoness, Yun Chujiu. Elder Xiao was really in the courtyard. After hearing Qian Chong's report, he rubbed his forehead. This Yun Chujiu is really troublesome. She causes trouble all day long. Although she has made great contributions to the sect, one should also be careful. Even if you secretly punish her, best not to let her catch you. Elder Xiao was suddenly shocked when he thought of this. It's over. How could I have been led astray by that little girl, Yun Chujiu? As a result, Elder Xiao fell into self-denial and self-doubt, and his entire person was in a bad state. There are no rules that let us achieve a square with a circle. As an elder of the law enforcement agency, how could I have fallen for such a wrong way of thinking? Qian Chong saw that Elder Xiao seemed to be in a meditative state and did not dare to go forward to disturb him. He sat on a chair and waited. Zhuo Piaoyu and Su Yen waited in the West Peak Law Enforcement Agency until the sun set and Qian Chong did not return. The disciples of the law enforcement agency avoided them as if they were avoiding a plague. They were afraid that they would be urged to catch Yun Chujiu. Zhuo Piaoyu's hatred toward Yun Chujiu dialed up 10 points. She had never received such cold treatment before. She did not expect that because of Yun Chujiu, not only did she almost destroy the image that she had built for so many years in front of everyone, she was also given such cold treatment in the law enforcement agency. She had to destroy this bitch, Yun Chujiu. Otherwise, not only would she snatch away senior brother Feng Ming, she would also sooner or later snatch away the glory that originally belonged to her. Su Yen was already beaten black and blue. After starving for an entire afternoon, she felt that she was going to faint again. Senior sister Zhuo, let's go back first. Well, come back tomorrow. Alright, junior sister Su, I'll send you back. You go home and rest well. I believe that the law enforcement agency will definitely make a decision for you. Although Zhuo Piaoyu despised this big-breasted and brainless idiot, in order to punish Yun Chujiu, she could only use her for the time being. Su Yen was very touched. Aside from thanking her, she used vicious words to curse Yun Chujiu. At that time, Yun Chujiu had just finished her dinner. She happily placed the luminous pearl that she had scammed from Xue Wuji in the room and lit it up. Then, she took out the remaining 2 storybooks and started reading them. Sigh, I don't know when I'll have the chance to go out again. These 2 books are too boring. My amateur cultural life is really too monotonous. Fifth sister and the others cultivate every day, and no one plays with me. That's true. After all, there are only a handful of people with such heaven-defying talent like me. I'm as lonely as snow. Just when Yun Chujiu was bored and wanted to bang her head against the wall, her eyes lit up. She had a voice transmission talisman, so she could tease the gigolo. Chapter 439, Dried Salted Fish. Yun Chujiu took out her voice transmission talisman and said slyly, Dear Prince Charming, do you miss me? I miss you so much. I miss you so much that I can't sleep. I miss you so much that my heart is about to break. After a moment, the voice transmission began to vibrate. Yun Chujiu was a little excited as she sent her divine sense in. She heard Di Baiming's low voice saying, M. Yun Chujiu thought that she heard it wrong. She listened to it 7 or 8 times, and there was really only one M. This girl was instantly enraged. What a tsundere! Spare the rod, spoil the child. They have not seen each other for 3 days and he was playing with her by being stingy with his words. What do you mean, Em? Did you miss me? Answer me properly, or I will sing you the song of fried crab with rice cake. After a while, the voice transmission vibrated again. Yun Chujo proudly sent her spiritual sense into it, thinking that this time, the gigolo would definitely answer her with sweet words. Sing. Di Baiming's calm voice came out from the voice transmission talisman. Yun Chujo was stunned at first, then she grabbed the pillow on the bed and hammered it dozens of times. Gigolo. You're driving me nuts. You are such a tsundere. When you come back next time, I will torture you to death. Of course, Yun Chujo would not really sing the song of fried crab with rice cake for Di Baiming. After punching the pillows hard, she put away the voice transmission talisman. Gigolo, just stay there and wait. I'll turn you into dried salted fish. The miserable Di Baiming was indeed waiting for Yun Chujia's voice transmission talisman. For 15 minutes, an hour, then 2 hours. There was no movement from the voice transmission talisman. On the other side, Di Baiming was waiting bitterly. On the other side, Yun Chujo was sleeping soundly. In her dream, she had ravaged the gigolo so much that she could not bear to wake up. Junior sister little Jiu. Junior sister little Jiu. Feng Ming's shout came from outside the courtyard. Yun Chujo could only open her eyes reluctantly. TSK TSK. She was just one step away from getting the gigolo. What a pity. Yun Chujo yawned as she walked out of the room. Senior brother Feng Ming, why are you looking for me so early in the morning? Junior sister little Jiu, I heard that you beat Su Yen up. You even scolded junior sister Zhua until she cried? Feng Ming asked anxiously. Yun Chujo blinked her eyes. Senior brother Feng Ming, you didn't call Su Yen junior sister Su, but you called Zhua Piaoyu junior sister Zhua. Could it be that you have feelings for her? She's a two-faced white lotus. Be careful not to let it screw you to death. Feng Ming was stunned. Then, he laughed and said, Junior sister little Jiu, what are you thinking? Junior sister Zhua and I often go out to gain experience. It's just that we have a good relationship. I'm worried about you. You beat Su Yen up. I'm afraid the law enforcement agency will punish you according to the sex rules. Besides, junior sister Zhua is gentle and kind. Why would she set me up? Oh right, what does the white lotus flower mean? The white lotus looks weak and kind on the outside, but in reality, she always hurts the people she doesn't like very badly. Of course, if she meets a white lotus killer like me, she'll be considered unlucky. Yun Chujo curled her lips. Did these people have eyes that grew to the back of their heads? How could Zhuo Piaoyu's hypocritical look show that she was gentle and kind? Feng Ming nodded, but he did not think much of it. He thought that Yun Chujo was just a child. Junior sister Zhua had always had a good reputation all these years, and when they went out to train together, she had always taken care of everyone. Perhaps it was just this accident that made junior sister little Jiu unhappy. Junior sister little Jiu, let's not talk about junior sister Zhua for now. The law enforcement agency will definitely come to arrest you in a while. Don't be afraid. When you arrive at the law enforcement agency, properly admit your mistake. I will help you plead for mercy. I believe that Elder Shao won't punish you too harshly. Feng Ming comforted. Yun Chujo giggled. Senior brother Feng Ming, you don't have to worry. Have you forgotten my identity? Little Pancher wouldn't dare to do anything to me. Chapter 440, I have come to surrender. Feng Ming was stunned for a moment before slapping his thigh. Junior sister little Jiu, I've forgotten about this matter. That's right, your little ancestor Yun. How would Elder Shao dare to punish you severely? Senior brother Feng Ming, wait for me for a moment. I'll wash up. After breakfast, we'll take the initiative to go to the West Peak Law Enforcement Agency and surrender ourselves. Yun Chujo said with a grin. Feng Ming was dumbfounded. It was the first time he witnessed someone committing a mistake and delivering themselves to the door without waiting for anyone to catch them. However, it was also a little strange. He heard that this incident happened the day before at noon. Why did the West Peak Law Enforcement Agency not come to look for junior sister Little Joe? Did they not say that the West Peak Law Enforcement Agency was the most strict and rigid? It was really strange. After eating breakfast, Yun Chujo sat on the chopping board and slowly flew to the West Peak Law Enforcement Agency. Feng Ming, who was flying on his sword beside her, clicked his tongue in wonder. Junior sister Little Joe, you can even sit on your chopping board. It's much more comfortable than our flying sword. Yun Chujo raised her small face and said proudly, this is nothing. In the future, it might turn into a bed board. At that time, I will lie on it. Feng Ming could not help but laugh. Little sister Little Joe's idea is indeed different from the others. If it turns into a bed board, you might as well ride on a flying spirit tool. Why must you lie on the bed board? Flying spirit tools need spirit stones. But I don't need that for this board. Moreover, flying spirit tools are not as nimble as this chopping board. In some places, using them just doesn't make sense. The two of them chatted and laughed. Very soon, they arrived at the West Peak Law Enforcement Agency. Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu had just arrived at the law enforcement agency. Manager Qian was comforting the two of them. You two wait here first. Elder Xiao suddenly had an epiphany yesterday. I didn't dare to disturb him. After Elder Xiao has finished meditating, I will handle your matters properly. Manager Qian, I'm here to surrender. Go and invite Elder Xiao over. I'm waiting to be punished. Yun Chujo had just arrived at the door of the law enforcement agency when she shouted cheerfully. When the disciples of the law enforcement agency saw that Yun Chujo had arrived, they could not help but step back, afraid that this little fiend would latch on to them. Stop joking. You're going to surrender. You're waiting to be punished. You might be playing some evil trick again. Let's stay far away from her to avoid being latched on. When Su Yan saw Yun Chujo coming, she got up from her chair and was about to pounce on Yun Chujo when Zhuo Piaoyu grabbed her. Junior sister Su, the law enforcement agency will make a decision for you. Don't be rash. Senior brother Feng Ming, were you the one who persuaded junior sister Yun to surrender? Zhuo Piaoyu looked at Feng Ming with a hint of admiration in her eyes. Yun Chujia's lips could not help but twitch. Senior brother Bird was really oblivious. Feng Ming smiled, he said in a clear voice, I didn't advise her junior sister Little Jiu felt that she was too reckless yesterday, so she came over herself. Junior sister Su, the two of you were just quarreling. You scolded junior sister Little Nine first, and even used a wind blade. Although junior sister Little Jiu hit you, she didn't hit you that hard. Why don't we just let it go? Otherwise, both of you will be punished by the sex rules. Su Yan was so angry that she almost passed out. She was almost beaten into a pulp, and that was not considered hard. Are you blind? Zhuo Piaoyu's hands were tightly clenched together under her sleeves, and her nails dug into her flesh. Senior brother Feng Ming actually protected Yun Chujo so much. It was really detestable. Senior brother Feng Ming, although junior sister Zu's words are indeed not pleasant to listen to, Yun Chujo shouldn't have hit someone first. Let's not argue anymore and wait for Elder Xiao to deal with her. Zhuo Piaoyu suppressed the hatred in her heart and said gently. Chapter 441, Becoming more and more humane. Seeing this, Feng Ming could not say anything else. He turned around and was about to comfort Yun Chujo when he found that he was already sitting on the chair beside him. He then said to a disciple of the law enforcement hall, Senior brother, my mouth is dry from talking. Can you help me pour some tea? That disciple went off and not only brought back a pot of tea, but also a plate of snacks. Junior sister Little Jiu, this snack is new. Try it, thank you, senior brother. Your law enforcement hall is becoming more and more humane. Yun Chujo said with a smile. That disciple was overwhelmed by the favor. He thought to himself, as long as you don't play any tricks on me, I will be eternally grateful. Zhuo Piaoyu and Su Yan were inner sect disciples. They didn't know how powerful this little demon was. He actually dared to provoke her. He really had a death wish. Just wait and see. In the end, no one will be at a disadvantage. Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu were so angry that they were about to faint. They were the plaintiffs, all right? They had been waiting here for the whole afternoon yesterday, but no one poured them a cup of tea. They all hid away as if they were avoiding the plague. Now that the defendant, Yun Chuzhou, had come to the hall, not only did she have tea, she was also served snacks. This was too much. Manager Qian also felt that something was not right. He touched his nose and said, "You guys sit down first. I'll go get Elder Shao." After Manager Qian finished speaking, he ran away like a gust of wind. Yun Chuzhou looked at Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu, who was sitting across her, and said with a smile, "Senior Sister Su, I have a pill that can promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. Do you want to buy it? The effect is very good. I guarantee that after you eat it, your pig head will instantly turn beautiful." Su Yan stood up in anger. "Yun Chuzhou, don't be complacent. Elder Shao will not forgive you." Yun Chuzhou spread her hands. "If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. What's the rush? Look at Senior Sister Zhuo, she has never been in a hurry. Yesterday, you fainted, and she was still trying her best to act as a white lotus. TCH, it must be her who urged you to come to the law enforcement hall, right? You pig brain, don't you think that in the end, you'll be the one to be punished for using my kicking, or you'll be punished harshly for using your wind blade? She's playing you like a fool." Su Yan was stunned. Yun Chuzhou was right. She had used a wind blade at that time. Had they investigated further, wouldn't her sin be even greater? Could Senior Sister Zhuo have done it on purpose? Zhuo Piaoyu saw Su Yan's doubtful gaze. She quickly said, "Junior Sister Su, you didn't believe her nonsense, did you? I did it to avenge you. Since you're afraid of punishment, let's leave now." Moreover, Yun Chuzhou was the one who attacked first. That was self-defense. Although it was a little too extreme, you'll still consider it when you punish her. Sure enough, Su Yan was persuaded by Zhuo Piaoyu's words. She glared at Yun Chuzhou fiercely. "Yun Chuzhou, you don't have to waste your efforts to sow discord between Senior Sister Zhuo and me. Even if I'm punished, I will take you down with me." Yun Chuzhou pouted. "You are so stupid. In that case, just you wait. Don't blame me for not warning you. Sooner or later, you will be betrayed by your Senior Sister Zhuo." "Humph. Senior Sister Zhuo is a kind person, why would she harm me? Stop talking nonsense. Just await your sentence." Su Yan felt that Yun Chuzhou was deliberately trying to sow discord between her and Zhuo Piaoyu. Yun Chuzhou couldn't be bothered with her anymore. She crossed her legs and leisurely sipped her tea, thinking about how she would deal with Elder Shao when he came. After a while, Elder Shao and Steward Qian walked in. Yun Chuzhou was stunned. Why did this Elder Shao look different from usual? It was as if a smelly and hard rock had a few holes in it. Chapter 441, Becoming more and more humane. Seeing this, Feng Ming could not say anything else. He turned around and was about to comfort Yun Chuzhou when he found that he was already sitting on the chair beside him. He then said to a disciple of the law enforcement hall, "Senior brother, my mouth is dry from talking. Can you help me pour some tea?" That disciple went off and not only brought back a pot of tea, but also a plate of snacks. "Junior Sister Little Jiu, this snack is new. Try it, thank you, senior brother. Your law enforcement hall is becoming more and more humane," Yun Chuzhou said with a smile. That disciple was overwhelmed by the favor. He thought to himself, as long as you don't play any tricks on me, I will be eternally grateful. Zhuo Piaoyu and Su Yan were inner sect disciples. They didn't know how powerful this little demon was. He actually dared to provoke her. He really had a death wish. Just wait and see. In the end, no one will be at a disadvantage. Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu were so angry that they were about to faint. They were the plaintiffs, all right? They had been waiting here for the whole afternoon yesterday, but no one poured them a cup of tea. They all hid away as if they were avoiding the plague. Now that the defendant, Yun Chuzhou, had come to the hall, not only did she have tea, she was also served snacks. This was too much. Manager Qian also felt that something was not right. He touched his nose and said, "You guys sit down first. I'll go get Elder Shao." After Manager Qian finished speaking, he ran away like a gust of wind. Yun Chuzhou looked at Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu, who was sitting across her, and said with a smile, "Senior Sister Su, I have a pill that can promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. Do you want to buy it? The effect is very good. I guarantee that after you eat it, your pig head will instantly turn beautiful." Su Yan stood up in anger. "Yun Chuzhou, don't be complacent. Elder Shao will not forgive you." Yun Chuzhou spread her hands. "If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. What's the rush? Look at Senior Sister Zhuo, she has never been in a hurry. Yesterday, you fainted, and she was still trying her best to act as a white lotus. TCH, it must be her who urged you to come to the law enforcement hall, right? You pig brain, don't you think that in the end, you'll be the one to be punished for using my kicking, or you'll be punished harshly for using your wind blade? She's playing you like a fool." Su Yan was stunned. Yun Chuzhou was right. She had used a wind blade at that time. Had they investigated further, wouldn't her sin be even greater? Could Senior Sister Zhuo have done it on purpose? Zhuo Piaoyu saw Su Yan's doubtful gaze. She quickly said, "Junior Sister Su, you didn't believe her nonsense, did you? I did it to avenge you. Since you're afraid of punishment, let's leave now." Moreover, Yun Chuzhou was the one who attacked first. That was self-defense. Although it was a little too extreme, you'll still consider it when you punish her. Sure enough, Su Yan was persuaded by Zhuo Piaoyu's words. She glared at Yun Chuzhou fiercely. "Yun Chuzhou, you don't have to waste your efforts to sow discord between Senior Sister Zhuo and me. Even if I'm punished, I will take you down with me." Yun Chuzhou pouted. "You are so stupid. In that case, just you wait. Don't blame me for not warning you. Sooner or later, you will be betrayed by your Senior Sister Zhuo." "Humph. Senior Sister Zhuo is a kind person, why would she harm me? Stop talking nonsense. Just await your sentence." Su Yan felt that Yun Chuzhou was deliberately trying to sow discord between her and Zhuo Piaoyu. Yun Chuzhou couldn't be bothered with her anymore. She crossed her legs and leisurely sipped her tea, thinking about how she would deal with Elder Shao when he came. After a while, Elder Shao and Steward Qian walked in. Yun Chuzhou was stunned. Why did this Elder Shao look different from usual? It was as if a smelly and hard rock had a few holes in it. Chapter 441, Becoming more and more humane. Seeing this, Feng Ming could not say anything else. He turned around and was about to comfort Yun Chuzhou when he found that he was already sitting on the chair beside him. He then said to a disciple of the law enforcement hall, "Senior brother, my mouth is dry from talking. Can you help me pour some tea?" That disciple went off and not only brought back a pot of tea, but also a plate of snacks. "Junior Sister Little Jiu, this snack is new. Try it, thank you, senior brother. Your law enforcement hall is becoming more and more humane," Yun Chuzhou said with a smile. That disciple was overwhelmed by the favor. He thought to himself, as long as you don't play any tricks on me, I will be eternally grateful. Zhuo Piaoyu and Su Yan were inner sect disciples. They didn't know how powerful this little demon was. He actually dared to provoke her. He really had a death wish. Just wait and see. In the end, no one will be at a disadvantage. Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu were so angry that they were about to faint. They were the plaintiffs, all right? They had been waiting here for the whole afternoon yesterday, but no one poured them a cup of tea. They all hid away as if they were avoiding the plague. Now that the defendant, Yun Chujio, had come to the hall, not only did she have tea, she was also served snacks. This was too much. Manager Qian also felt that something was not right. He touched his nose and said, "You guys sit down first. I'll go get Elder Xiao." After Manager Qian finished speaking, he ran away like a gust of wind. Yun Chuzhou looked at Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu, who was sitting across her, and said with a smile, "Senior Sister Su, I have a pill that can promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. Do you want to buy it? The effect is very good. I guarantee that after you eat it, your pig head will instantly turn beautiful." Su Yan stood up in anger. "Yun Chuzhou, don't be complacent. Elder Xiao will not forgive you." Yun Chuzhou spread her hands. "If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. What's the rush? Look at Senior Sister Zhua, she has never been in a hurry. Yesterday, you fainted, and she was still trying her best to act as a white lotus. TCH, it must be her who urged you to come to the law enforcement hall, right? You pig brain, don't you think that in the end, you'll be the one to be punished for using my kicking, or you'll be punished harshly for using your wind blade? She's playing you like a fool." Su Yan was stunned. Yun Chuzhou was right. She had used a wind blade at that time. Had they investigated further, wouldn't her sin be even greater? Could Senior Sister Zhua have done it on purpose? Zhuo Piaoyu saw Su Yan's doubtful gaze. She quickly said, "Junior Sister Su, you didn't believe her nonsense, did you? I did it to avenge you. Since you're afraid of punishment, let's leave now." Moreover, Yun Chuzhou was the one who attacked first. That was self-defense. Although it was a little too extreme, you'll still consider it when you punish her. Sure enough, Su Yan was persuaded by Zhuo Piaoyu's words. She glared at Yun Chuzhou fiercely. "Yun Chuzhou, you don't have to waste your efforts to sow discord between Senior Sister Zhua and me. Even if I'm punished, I will take you down with me." Yun Chuzhou pouted. "You are so stupid. In that case, just you wait. Don't blame me for not warning you. Sooner or later, you will be betrayed by your Senior Sister Zhua." "Humph. Senior Sister Zhua is a kind person, why would she harm me? Stop talking nonsense. Just await your sentence." Su Yan felt that Yun Chuzhou was deliberately trying to sow discord between her and Zhuo Piaoyu. Yun Chuzhou couldn't be bothered with her anymore. She crossed her legs and leisurely sipped her tea, thinking about how she would deal with Elder Xiao when he came. After a while, Elder Xiao and Steward Qian walked in. Yun Chuzhou was stunned. Why did this Elder Xiao look different from usual? It was as if a smelly and hard rock had a few holes in it. Chapter 441, Becoming more and more humane. Seeing this, Feng Ming could not say anything else. He turned around and was about to comfort Yun Chuzhou when he found that he was already sitting on the chair beside him. He then said to a disciple of the law enforcement hall, "Senior brother, my mouth is dry from talking. Can you help me pour some tea?" That disciple went off and not only brought back a pot of tea, but also a plate of snacks. "Junior Sister Little Jiu, this snack is new. Try it, thank you, Senior brother. Your law enforcement hall is becoming more and more humane," Yun Chuzhou said with a smile. That disciple was overwhelmed by the favor. He thought to himself, "As long as you don't play any tricks on me, I will be eternally grateful." Zhuo Piaoyu and Su Yan were inner sect disciples. They didn't know how powerful this little demon was. He actually dared to provoke her. He really had a death wish. Just wait and see. In the end, no one will be at a disadvantage. Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu were so angry that they were about to faint. They were the plaintiffs, all right? They had been waiting here for the whole afternoon yesterday, but no one poured them a cup of tea. They all hid away as if they were avoiding the plague. Now that the defendant, Yun Chuzhou, had come to the hall, not only did she have tea, she was also served snacks. This was too much. Manager Qian also felt that something was not right. He touched his nose and said, "You guys sit down first. I'll go get Elder Shao." After Manager Qian finished speaking, he ran away like a gust of wind. Yun Chujiu looked at Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu, who was sitting across her, and said with a smile, "Senior Sister Su, I have a pill that can promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. Do you want to buy it? The effect is very good. I guarantee that after you eat it, your pig head will instantly turn beautiful." Su Yan stood up in anger. "Yun Chujiu, don't be complacent. Elder Shao will not forgive you." Yun Chujiu spread her hands. "If you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it. What's the rush? Look at Senior Sister Zhuo, she has never been in a hurry. Yesterday, you fainted, and she was still trying her best to act as a white lotus. TCH, it must be her who urged you to come to the law enforcement hall, right? You pig brain, don't you think that in the end, you'll be the one to be punished for using my kicking, or you'll be punished harshly for using your wind blade? She's playing you like a fool." Su Yan was stunned. Yun Chujiu was right. She had used a wind blade at that time. Had they investigated further, wouldn't her sin be even greater? Could Senior Sister Zhuo have done it on purpose? Zhuo Piaoyu saw Su Yan's doubtful gaze. She quickly said, "Junior Sister Su, you didn't believe her nonsense, did you? I did it to avenge you. Since you're afraid of punishment, let's leave now." Moreover, Yun Chujiu was the one who attacked first. That was self-defense. Although it was a little too extreme, you'll still consider it when you punish her. Sure enough, Su Yan was persuaded by Zhuo Piaoyu's words. She glared at Yun Chujiu fiercely. "Yun Chujiu, you don't have to waste your efforts to sow discord between Senior Sister Zhuo and me. Even if I'm punished, I will take you down with me." Yun Chujiu pouted. "You are so stupid. In that case, just you wait. Don't blame me for not warning you. Sooner or later, you will be betrayed by your Senior Sister Zhuo." "Humph. Senior Sister Zhuo is a kind person, why would she harm me? Stop talking nonsense. Just await your sentence." Su Yan felt that Yun Chujiu was deliberately trying to sow discord between her and Zhuo Piaoyu. Yun Chujiu couldn't be bothered with her anymore. She crossed her legs and leisurely sipped her tea, thinking about how she would deal with Elder Shao when he came. After a while, Elder Shao and Steward Qian walked in. Yun Chujiu was stunned. Why did this Elder Shao look different from usual? It was as if a smelly and hard rock had a few holes in it. Chapter 442. Gratitude was like a torrential river. After Elder Shao entered the room, he actually nodded at Yun Chujiu and even gave her a strange smile. Yun Chujiu almost jumped from her chair in shock. "Oh. Wasn't it too scary?" This Elder Shao was usually like a statue who did not smile. What kind of madness had overcome him today? Could it be that ancestral master Ling Hua gave him a dream last night? Zhuo Piaoyu and Su Yan saw that the usually serious Elder Shao had smiled at Yun Chujiu. This was like seeing a ghost. How could they have known that Elder Shao's gratitude towards Yun Chujiu at this moment was like a torrential river? It turned out that after Elder Shao's self-denial and self-doubt yesterday, he had an epiphany. The strong are easily broken. In the past, he was too rigid in terms of rules and regulations and had lost his true self. Cultivation itself was to conform to the Tian Dao, to conform to nature. He had overcompensated in the past. Elder Shao had been stuck at the 4th level of the spiritual emperor realm for several years and thought that he would stop here. He did not expect that after the epiphany, he had actually made a breakthrough. Elder Shao felt that Yun Chujiu had beaten him up too well yesterday. If she hadn't beaten him up, he wouldn't have had that kind of idea. If he didn't have that kind of idea, how would he have had the opportunity to have an epiphany? If he didn't have an epiphany, how would he have broken through his limits? So the source of all this was Yun Chujiu beating him up. It was that simple. Elder Shao glanced at Yun Chuzhou and then asked, "Who served Yun Chuzhou tea and pastries?" The disciple who poured the tea thought to himself, "It's over. Elder Shao was the most upright and righteous person here, he must want to punish him." He knew that it wouldn't be good if he got close to Yun Chuzhou, the little devil. There was no avoiding it now. Zhuo Piaoyu and Su Yan were very happy in their hearts. It turned out that Elder Shao was sneering at Yun Chuzhou just now. "Yun Chuzhou, I told you not to be smug. You were the defendant to begin with, yet you still drank tea and ate pastries. You deserve it. Elder Shao is indeed upright. Yun Chuzhou, you beat me in public. Just wait for your punishment." "Elder Shao, yes, I poured tea for junior sister Yun," the disciple said fearfully. Yun Chuzhou was about to plead for mercy, but she didn't expect Elder Shao to nod. "Well done. However, this kind of pastry is too greasy. Bring a plate of spirit fruits here to relieve her of the greasiness." Everyone was dumbfounded. Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu were so angry that they almost choked. Has Elder Shao gone mad? This is the law enforcement hall, not the living room. Yun Chuzhou is the defendant. The defendant. The defendant. Not only are you drinking tea and eating snacks, you actually care about whether her food was too greasy or not. That disciple was stunned at first, then he nodded and ran off to get the fruits. The disciple ran outside and giggled. Oh my God, after so many years, he finally heard Elder Shao praise him. It was not an easy feat. It seemed that Yun Chuzhou was not as bad as he thought. It was his lucky day today, wasn't it? Elder Shao glanced at Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu and said with slight displeasure, "Tell me, why are you looking for me?" When Su Yan and Zhuo Piaoyu saw Elder Shao's different attitude, they had an ominous feeling in their hearts. It was probably impossible to deal with Yun Chuzhou. Su Yan sobbed and told them about yesterday's incident. Elder Shao only frowned and then looked at Yun Chuzhou and said gently, "Little Jiu, tell me what happened." Chapter 443, This is completely twisting black and white. Yun Chuzhou couldn't help but shiver. Oh my God, isn't this too shocking? This Elder Shao had always called her Yun Chuzhou, but now he actually called her Little Jiu. This was definitely her master's dream last night. "Elder Shao, the matter is like this. Yesterday, when I went to look for senior brother Fengming to play, I met senior sister Su and senior sister Zhuo on the way. Senior sister Su spoke ill of me, saying that I was shameless, useless, and so on. I could tolerate all of these, but her words actually implied that she was dissatisfied with the sect. She felt that the sect leader and the other elders were blind to have accepted a useless person like me as a successor disciple. I couldn't take it anymore. Let alone my aunt and uncle. Therefore, I gently touched her with my foot. Before I knew it, she viciously threw out 5 wind blades. If I wasn't attentive, I wouldn't be alive right now. I was furious at that time. Originally, it was just a friendly exchange between fellow disciples, but she actually tried to kill me. I had to help her realize her mistake, so I used my foot to do it. Su Yan was so angry that she almost fainted. In the past, she had heard that this Yun Chuzhou could speak eloquently and had a quick wit. Now, she had finally seen it for herself. This was twisting black and white, spouting nonsense. She claimed she used her foot to lightly touch her, yet she flew more than 100 feet away. She almost fell to her death. Moreover, when did she say that the sect leader and the elders were blind? Elder Shao. Yun Chuzhou is spouting nonsense. I didn't say that the sect leader and the elders were blind. Su Yan hurriedly explained. Senior sister Su, do you dare to swear to the heavens that you are not angry that I was accepted as a successor disciple? Do you think that the sect is too biased towards me? Is it too unfair to you? If you dare to swear to the heavens, I will let you do as you wish. Yun Chuzhou said confidently. Su Yan almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Did she dare to swear? That was exactly what she was thinking. You dare not swear, right? Then prove that those words were not said by you. Let me remind you, you slandered the sect leader and all the elders. Yun Chujiu pointed at Su Yan's nose and said loudly. Elder Shao, although I thought so, I didn't say it. I really didn't say anything blindly. In a moment of desperation, Su Yan said what was in her heart. Shuo Piaoyu cursed silently. Yun Chujiu was obviously bluffing. She didn't expect you to admit it yourself. After Su Yan finished speaking, she also knew that she had been fooled, but it was already too late. Elder Shao snorted unhappily. Su Yan, do we still need to explain to you about the decision Master Xianyuan and the sect have made? We already know what Yun Chujiu is like. Moreover, is the first-place finisher in the Great Void Mystic Realms trial not qualified to be promoted to a successor disciple? The competition of the 4 great sects is about to arrive. As an inner disciple, you don't cultivate properly and are always stirring up trouble. You really don't want to improve yourself. Moreover, the little Jiu only touched you with her foot, but you actually used a wind blade to retaliate. You are too ruthless. However, it was little Jiu who made the first move, so I will reduce your punishment. How about this? Although little Jiu had violated the sect rules by beating up her fellow disciples, her intentions were good. She was also doing this for the sake of the improvement of her fellow disciples, so she would be fined half a year's worth of sect resources. As for you, since you stirred up trouble and overreacted, you will also be fined half a year's worth of sect resources. If you don't repent and continue to stir up trouble, you will be demoted to an outer sect disciple. Alright, I still have things to do. All of you can leave now. Elder Shao was in a hurry to tell the good news of his breakthrough to his old friends. How could he be in the mood to deal with such trivial matters? After saying that, he left in a hurry, happily trotting off. Chapter 444, Bitches Are Pretentious. Su Yan felt her head buzz and her vision went black. She slumped to the ground. Half a year's worth of sect resources was nothing, but Elder Shao's impression of her had clearly got worse. She might be demoted to an outer sect disciple if he caught her again. If she was demoted to an outer sect disciple, her future would be ruined. Shuo Piaoyu's face was also filled with disbelief. Was this really Elder Shao? Who had always been known for his iron face and unselfishness. Things were over just like that. Yun Chujiu had truly violated the sect rules. According to the sect rules, shouldn't she be punished to reflect on her actions for at least a month? Why was it only half a year's worth of sect resources? Feng Ming, who stood at the side, was also dumbfounded. Could it be that he was away for too long? Why did this Elder Shao seem to have changed into a different person? Was he becoming more and more like Elder Chu? Even Yun Chujiu's face was filled with bewilderment. Fuck, what was going on? She had thought that her nonsense would be refuted by little Pancher, but who would have thought that he would let her off so easily? Did the sun rise from the north now? Yun Chujiu shamelessly put the spirit fruits and pastries on the table into her storage ring, then, she asked Su Yan with a smile, cough cough. Senior sister Su Yan, by the way, we can be considered friends after a fight. Do you want to buy some medicinal pills to promote blood circulation? I will give you a 20% discount. Su Yan choked and actually fainted from anger. Yun Chujiu blinked her eyes and spread her hands innocently. It's really not my fault this time. I was being kind. I just asked her if she wanted pills. The disciples of the law enforcement hall had silently judged Yun Chujiu to be a dangerous individual. This lady was a bogeyman. This Su Yan still wanted to sue Yun Chujiu. She was simply digging her own grave. Not only did she not manage to do anything to Yun Chujiu, but her own future was instead potentially ruined. Elder Shao held an important position in the West Peak. Disciples that he did not think highly of would never have the chance to stand out. Shuo Piaoyu fed Su Yan a pill. When Su Yan woke up, Shuo Piaoyu then said indignantly, Yun Chujiu, you are really too much. You knew that junior sister Sue was injured by you yesterday and her body was weak, but you still used words to provoke her. You are so young yet you're merciless. Yun Chujo curled her lips. Kind senior sister Joa, since you know that senior sister Zu's body is weak, why did you urge her to come to the law enforcement hall to complain? I'm warning you for the last time, don't provoke me. Otherwise, even if Peak Master Yuan intervenes, I won't let you off. Feng Ming saw that the two of them were on the verge of fighting. He quickly said, all right. All right. This is all a misunderstanding. Junior sister Joa, didn't junior sister little Jiao say that she was only helping junior sister Sue to recognize her mistake? Now that junior sister Sue has recognized her mistake and junior sister little Jiao has been punished, this matter will be over. Don't mention it again in the future. Zhuo Piaoyu saw that Feng Ming was protective of Yun Chujiu, her eyes reddened. Senior brother Feng Ming, I just can't stand junior sister Yun bullying others like this. Our Linghua sect has always been amicable, but junior sister Yun has repeatedly argued with others. She should properly reflect on herself. Reflect on your head. Scram. Do you want me to be punished for another half a year for the sex resources? The thing that Yun Chujiu despised the most was this kind of hypocritical white lotus flower. It was even worse than some villains. Disgusting. Seeing that his advice made things worse, Feng Ming grabbed Yun Chujiu and said, Junior sister little Jiu, we haven't been to the Spirit Beast Park for a long time. Let's go and see the mighty elephants. Yun Chujiu saw that Feng Ming was so anxious that his forehead was sweating, so she could only nod and say, all right, senior brother Feng Ming, then I'll let you off today. Senior brother Feng Ming, you must remember one thing, lest you be deceived by some people. Feng Ming asked in puzzlement, what words? Yun Chujiu glanced at Zhuo Piaoyu and said, bitches are pretentious. Chapter 445, I am really too kind. Feng Ming saw that Zhuo Piaoyu was on the verge of exploding, so he quickly dragged Yun Chujiu away. Junior sister little Jiu, did something happen to Elder Shao? Why do I feel that he is a little strange today? Feng Ming asked Yun Chujiu curiously along the way. Yun Chujiu burst into laughter, senior brother Feng Ming, I am also puzzled. This Elder Shao seems to have suddenly become enlightened. In the past, he seemed like he was straight as an arrow, but now it seems that someone has managed to make him more flexible. Feng Ming was amused by Yun Chujiu's analogy and burst into laughter. The two of them chatted and laughed as they arrived at the West Peak Spirit Beast Garden. Relying on Feng Ming's face brushing, the two of them had a smooth journey and soon arrived at the mighty elephant's garden. Hey! Little babies! I'm here to see you again. Yun Chujiu sat on the chopping board and greeted the 6 mighty elephants. When the mighty elephants saw Yun Chujiu, they cried out a few times as a form of greeting. They were a little puzzled. The chopping board seemed to be bigger than before. Oh, not bad. Da and Air have reached Tier 9. Yun Chujiu asked excitedly. 2 of the mighty elephants shook their huge noses excitedly in response to Yun Chujiu's words. Junior sister Xiaojiu, you even gave these mighty elephants names? Yes, according to their size, Da, Air, San, Si, Wu. That little guy is 1 generation younger, so we'll call him Da. How about it? Did I give him a nice name? Feng Ming. Senior brother Feng Ming, they must be thanking me. If it wasn't for my philosophical words back then, they would have spent the rest of their lives muddle-headed. Now, they are all working hard to be prepared beasts, and this is all thanks to me. I am a kind person, always doing good deeds. Not only did I persuade fellow disciples like Su Yan, but I also persuaded these spirit beasts. I am moved by myself. I am really too kind. Feng Ming. Senior brother Feng Ming, why aren't you saying anything? Cough. Cough. Junior sister little Jiu, I originally thought that I was already very narcissistic in the Linghua sect, but now I feel that compared to you, I'm quite humble. Yun Chujiu giggled. This isn't narcissism, this is confidence. The corners of Feng Ming's eyes twitched. Junior sister little Jiu, in 3 days, we're going to the Eupatorium Valley to pick some Eupatorium grass. Are you coming along? The Eupatorium Valley is close by. We'll be back the same day we leave. Yes. I will go. I will definitely go. I will go and look for the sect master right now. I will definitely get his approval. Yun Chuzhou said excitedly. She was bored to death. Finally, she had something to do. Master Xianyuan really could not withstand Yun Chujia's torturous divine techniques. He could only agree to let her go with Feng Ming and the others. He also instructed Feng Ming to protect Yun Chuzhou. Yun Chuzhou counted on her fingers and finally looked forward to the day of departure. She got up early and stretched her neck to wait for Feng Ming. After Feng Ming arrived, the two of them went outside the mountain gate to meet up with the others. Senior brother Feng Ming, Yun Chuzhou is also coming with us. Zhuo Piaoyu raised her voice, her beautiful brows tightly knitted together. Yes, junior sister Jiu is bored and wants to come along to relieve her boredom. Junior sister Zhuo, don't tell me you are still brooding over what happened a few days ago. Feng Ming said with a smile. The jealousy in Zhuo Piaoyu's heart spread like poisonous weeds. She clenched her teeth and said gently, Senior brother Feng Ming, am I that kind of person? I'm just worried that junior sister Yun's spiritual power is too low. What if we can't take care of her and she gets hurt? Chapter 446, Eupatorium Poison Bee. Junior sister Zhuo, don't worry. I will protect junior sister little Jiu. With our skills, we will definitely be able to complete the mission. Gung Yi, Shi Xian, and senior brother Ding, do you have any objections? Feng Ming said confidently. The 6 people who went this time were all successive disciples. Besides Feng Ming and Yun Chuzhou, there were also Zhuo Piaoyu, Ding Lang, Gung Yi, and Shi Xian. Gung Yi was the successive disciple of Peak Master Du of the East Peak, while Shi Xian was the successive disciple of Peak Master Chiu of the South Peak. The two of them had a pretty good relationship with Feng Ming, so they naturally agreed readily. Ding Lang's eyes flickered a few times, and he also nodded his head in agreement. Seeing this, Zhuo Piaoyu had nothing more to say. She thought to herself, Yun Chuzhou, you've got a death wish. Originally, I didn't have the chance to kill you while in the sect, but now you're the one who took the initiative to come out and throw your life away. I've already advised you not to go. If you insist on going, if something does happen, don't put the blame on me. Ding Lang, who was at the side, had a twinkle in his eyes. This was truly a heaven-sent opportunity. Among the 6 people who came out to pick the Eupatorium grass, besides Yun Chuzhou, he was the only one who understood the medicinal principles. When the time came, he would be able to take this bitch's life without anyone knowing. Yun Chuzhou was like a little bird that had been released from its cage, chattering non-stop along the way. Gung Yi and Shi Xian had also heard some of their fellow disciples talk about how Yun Chuzhou was arrogant and despotic. Now that they had come into contact with her, they felt that the 3 of them were the real monsters. She was clearly a naive and romantic little girl, but her reputation had been smeared to such an extent. 4 hours later, everyone arrived at the Eupatorium Valley. The reason why the Eupatorium Valley was named so was that the valley was rich in Eupatorium grass. Eupatorium grass was a high-grade black-grade medicinal herb, and the accompanying beast was the Eupatorium poison bee. Although Eupatorium poison bees were a 3rd-grade demon beast, it was a demon beast that lived in groups. Each bee colony guarded the Eupatorium grass within a few dozen mu of land. Although Eupatorium grass was called grass, it was actually a spiritual plant that bloomed all year round. Eupatorium poison bees liked the pollen and nectar of Eupatorium grass, so if threatened, they would retaliate in force. Eupatorium poison bees were different from ordinary bees. They would not die after stinging people. Moreover, their toxicity was extremely strong. After being stung by one, even if they immediately took an antidote pill, they would temporarily lose their spiritual power. If they were stung by more than one bee, if they could not remove the poison in time, their life would be in danger. Gung Yi and Shi Xian, lure the bees away. Junior sister Zhua and senior brother Ding will be responsible for eliminating the remaining bees. Junior sister Jiao and I will pick the eupatorium grass. Feng Ming made a simple division of labor. This arrangement was very reasonable. The most dangerous task was the one to lure the bees away. Gung Yi and Shi Xian had higher spiritual power, so it was very suitable for them to do this. The harvesting job was the least dangerous, and so it was suitable for Yun Chujiu, who had the lowest spiritual power. Moreover, with Feng Ming's protection, there should be no problems. Although Zhuo Piaoyu and Ding Lang's spiritual power was not as high as Gung Yi and Shi Xian's, it was still safe to pick the eupatorium grass. However, it was not a problem for them to deal with the remaining poison bees. Zhuo Piaoyu and Ding Lang both had their own thoughts. They simultaneously thought about how they could get rid of Yun Chujiu discreetly. After the discussion, they found a nest of eupatorium poison bees. According to the plan, Gung Yi and Shi Xian began to anger the bees. Sure enough, the bees all chased after them and flew far away. Junior sister Zhua, senior brother Ding, you guys deal with the remaining ones. Don't let them come to me and junior sister Xiaojiu. Junior sister Xiaojiu and I will hurry up and pick the eupatorium grass. Feng Ming pointed at the dozen or so eupatorium poison bees in the distance and said. After saying that, Feng Ming took Yun Chujiu to the side and began to pick the eupatorium grass. Seeing how Feng Ming doted over Yun Chujiu, Zhuo Piaoyu could no longer control the jealousy in her heart. A trace of ruthlessness flashed in her eyes. Yun Chujiu, you forced me to do this. Chapter 447, Junior Sister Yun, go steal the honey. Ding Lang, who was standing at the side, caught a glimpse of Zhuo Piaoyu's gaze and was delighted. He did not expect Zhuo Piaoyu to have the intention to kill Yun Chujiu. In that case, he would act accordingly and add fuel to the fire. Originally, Feng Ming and Yun Chujiu were very close to each other. However, as the harvesting progressed, the two of them were separated. Ding Lang saw that Zhuo Piaoyu had quietly lured the few remaining eupatorium poison bees to Yun Chujiu's side, who was squatting down unaware as she picked eupatorium grass. Feng Ming was alert throughout the harvest. When he heard that something was wrong, he realized that the remaining eupatorium bees had flown to Yun Chujiu's side. He quickly used his wind blade to attack the bees while shielding Yun Chujiu behind him. Feng Ming had the highest spiritual power among them, so it was not a problem for him to protect Yun Chujiu. Zhuo Piaoyu was extremely resentful. She gritted her teeth and deliberately got stung by a eupatorium bee, then fell toward Feng Ming. Ah! Senior brother Feng Ming, save me. Feng Ming was shocked and subconsciously grabbed Zhuo Piaoyu, who was about to fall. At that time, Ding Lang lured a few poison bees toward Yun Chujiu. Damned girl, die. Among the few of them, only he had the antidote to the poison. If he intentionally held back the antidote, you would be dead for sure. A few poison bees flew towards Yun Chujiu viciously. Feng Ming reacted, and when he wanted to attack, it was already too late. Feng Ming's head buzzed. It was over. If junior sister little Jiao was stung by so many eupatorium bees at once, she would immediately die from the poison. Yun Chujiu stood calmly on the spot and did not hide. The few eupatorium bees were blocked by an invisible barrier when they were within 3 feet of Yun Chujiu. Yun Chujiu giggled. TSK, turns out the defensive spiritual tool that my Prince Charming gave me is really useful. These stupid bugs still want to sting me. What wishful thinking. Ha ha ha, come on, chase me. Let's play hide and seek. Yun Chujiu was jumping around and playing with the few eupatorium poison bees. She was having so much fun that Zhuo Piaoyu almost fainted from anger. Ding Lang's eyes flashed with malice. Stupid girl, keep showing off. Let's see if you can still laugh. Feng Ming was occupied carrying Zhuo Piaoyu and had his attention on Yun Chujiu. He did not notice when Ding Lang quietly sprinkled some powder on him. A moment later, dozens of eupatorium bees came out of the hive. Unlike the eupatorium bees that were lured away, these eupatorium bees had blue stingers on their tails. Oh no! These are the egg-protecting bees of the eupatorium bees. Why are they attacking? Everyone, retreat! Ding Lang pretended to be panicked and shouted. Feng Ming was carrying Zhuo Piaoyu and Ding Lang had done something to him. How could he escape from these dozens of eupatorium bees? He was instantly stung several times. Even Zhuo Piaoyu, who he was carrying, was stung a few times. All of this happened in a flash. When Yun Chuzhou wanted to help, it was already too late. Fortunately, Gang Yi and Shi Xian ran back after leading the swarm far away. Together with Ding Lang, they forced the poison bees back to the hive. What's going on? Don't the egg-protecting bees usually stay in the hive? Why would they suddenly attack Feng Ming and junior sister Zhuo? Senior brother Ding, quickly give them the antidote. Gang Yi shouted anxiously. Ding Lang took out the antidote and gave it to the two of them. This antidote can only control the spread of the bee venom. If you want to completely detoxify it, it's best to get the honey of the eupatorium poison bees. Shi Xian frowned. The eupatorium poison bees hive not only has egg-protecting bees but there's also the queen bee. The queen bee is a level 8 demonic beast. Even if we join forces, we won't be a match for it. Although the queen bee is powerful, the queen bee won't leave the hive. As long as we get the honey and leave the hive alone, there won't be any danger. Junior sister Yun has a defensive spirit tool on her. Why don't you use it and steal some honey? Ding Lang looked at the anxious Yun Chuzhou. Chapter 448, The honey thief. Gang Yi was stunned for a moment and then angrily rebuked, junior sister little Jiu is only at the 4th level of the spirit enhancement realm. Even if she has a defensive spirit tool, it would be like sending her to her death. When we return to the sect, I don't believe that there is no way to detoxify the poison there. Ding Lang looked troubled. The two of them were stung by the egg-protecting bees. Even if they took the detoxification pill, they wouldn't be able to make it back to the sect. Shi Xian gritted his teeth. I'll go. I get the honey even if it kills me. I'll go with you. We can't just watch Feng Ming and junior sister Zhuo die from the poison. At worst, we'll all die together. Gang Yi stood up and prepared to rush to the hive with Shi Xian. Don't go, I'll go. I can get the honey. Yun Chuzhou said. Before the others could react, they quickly jumped in front of the huge hive. The eupatorium poison bee had few natural enemies in the eupatorium valley, so its beehive was not built on a high place, but in huge holes in trees. Junior sister Xiaojiu, come back quickly. There's a queen bee in the beehive. It's extremely poisonous. Your defensive spiritual device can't withstand its attack. Gang Yi shouted. As both Gang Yi and Shi Xian were about to save Yun Chuzhou, Ding Lang stopped the two of them. Junior sister Yun's defensive spiritual weapon is very high level. Let's take a look at the situation first. Maybe junior sister Yun can do it. Moreover, if those egg-protecting bees attack again, I won't be able to protect the two of them alone. If they get stung again, it's over for them. Gang Yi and Shi Xian considered Ding Lang's words. They could only observe the situation first and then act accordingly. At this moment, Yun Chuzhou had already taken out her large kitchen knife and hacked at the beehive. Before Yun Chuzhou's large kitchen knife landed, a queen bee that was much larger than the other eupatorium poison bees crawled out of the beehive. The poisonous stinger on its tail stung Yun Chuzhou. The poisonous stinger of the queen bee was blocked by the spiritual energy barrier. Yun Chuzhou blinked her eyes and ignored the queen bee. She was ready to continue hacking at the beehive with the large kitchen knife. However, the size of the queen bee was huge. It blocked almost all the attack aimed at the beehives that were exposed. Yun Chuzhou had no opening to exploit. Yun Chuzhou recalled what Ding Lang had said just now. The queen bee would not leave the beehive so easily. She had an idea. Gung Yi and the others were stunned as they watched Yun Chujo put away the kitchen knife. Then, she took out a rolling pin. The rolling pin kept growing until it was more than 3 meters long. Yun Chujo took the extended version of the rolling pin and started to hammer the queen bee. Damn it! I'll hammer you to death. Why are you so stingy? I just want a small piece of it. If you know what's good for you, hurry up and go away. I'll leave after I get some honey, or I'll hammer you to death. If your subordinates can't sting me, what makes you think you can? I'll beat you to death in a moment. Do you want to protect the honey or your life? It was the first time the miserable queen bee had encountered such a perverted human and this perverted broken stick. Its body was very strong, but when this broken stick hit its body, it really hurt. The queen bee held on for a while, but it couldn't hold on any longer. The egg-protecting bees couldn't break the spiritual energy barrier on Yun Chuji's body, so the queen bee was terrified. The queen bee stepped back and gave up a small piece of the beehive. Are you a fucking miser? Even if you step further in, it won't even be enough honey for me. Aside from getting them an antidote, I have to try something the honey myself. Otherwise, wouldn't I have come here for nothing? Yun Chujo took the rolling pin and beat it again. The queen bee could only step back a little. Where did this little pervert come from? Why was it so greedy? It hurts. Step back a little more. Do you still want to get beaten up? Yun Chujo beat it again. The queen bee felt that it was really going to end up a flattened queen bee, so it had to step back a little more. Yun Chujo then took the big kitchen knife and started to slice off part of the hive. The queen bee was about to collapse. Didn't you say that you wanted a small piece? How was that a small piece? It was almost half of the beehive. Before the queen bee flew into a rage, Yun Chujo finally stopped. She bared his little white teeth at the queen bee. The old won't go and the new won't come. I'm helping you build a new house. I'll come to visit you another day. The queen bee buzzed a few times. You dare say you'll come to visit again? I don't want to see you again in this lifetime. Honey thief. Honey burglar. Chapter 449, Yun Chujo hopped back to Gung Yi and the others. She took out a small section of the beehive and handed it to Ding Lang. Senior Marshal Brother Ding, cures Senior Marshal Brother Feng Ming and Senior Marshal Sister Zhua. Ding Lang never expected that Yun Chujo would really get the honey and stay unharmed. He was very disappointed, but he was even more jealous. He didn't expect that the grade of the defensive spiritual artifact on this stinky girl was so high. Moreover, that unremarkable-looking stick could actually grow longer. How detestable. Ding Lang barely suppressed the resentment in his heart. He smeared the honey on the wounds of Feng Ming and Yun Chujo and then turned the honey into water for the two of them to drink. Their expressions gradually returned to normal. This poison was almost completely cleansed. The few of them did not dare to delay any longer and quickly left the Eupatorium Valley. When they arrived outside the Eupatorium Valley, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. This crisis has finally been overcome. Feng Ming and Zhuo Piaoyu also woke up. Gung Yi immediately said, "You have to thank junior sister Zhou. If it weren't for her, you would have been finished." Feng Ming said proudly, "How is it? It's all thanks to me bringing junior sister Zhou here, right? Junior sister Zhou always miraculously saves the day." Zhuo Piaoyu saw Feng Ming praising Yun Chujo non-stop and was so angry that her eyes burned with anger. This time, it was really a case of trying to steal a chicken, only to end up losing the rice instead. Not only did she not harm Yun Chujo, but she was also stung for nothing. The most hateful thing was that from now on, she had to admit that Yun Chujo was her savior. This Yun Chujo was a narcissist. If she admitted that she was her savior, she might never hear the end of it. No, she had to find an excuse. Zhuo Piaoyu thought for a while and came up with an idea. This is all my fault. If I hadn't been in a hurry to save junior sister little Zhou, she wouldn't have been stung. If senior brother Feng Ming hadn't taken care of me, he wouldn't have been stung by the egg-protecting bees too. Yun Chuzhou was licking a beehive when she heard Zhuo Piaoyu's words. She couldn't help but sneer. Senior sister Zhuo, you better watch your words from now on. Don't mislead others intentionally or unintentionally. It's fine if you don't admit that I'm your savior, but your injuries have nothing to do with me. I think some people got stung on purpose just to fall into senior brother Feng Ming's arms. Unfortunately, while falling flowers are intentional, the flowing water is merciless. Some people got stung for nothing. Zhuo Piaoyu was robbed of her innocence by Yun Chuzhou. This time, she really fainted from anger. Gung Yi and Shi Xian looked at Zhuo Piaoyu, who had fainted, and reassessed their impression of little Jiu in their hearts. Naive and romantic. We were wrong. This girl was a fiend. And a fierce fiend at that. When they thought back to how the queen bee was beaten, it was too brutal, wasn't it? Both of them could tell that Zhuo Piaoyu was interested in Feng Ming, but Feng Ming was oblivious in that aspect. What the little girl said might actually be true. Junior sister Zhuo wanted Feng Ming to be a hero to save the damsel in distress, but she didn't expect that she would end up losing out instead. Feng Ming recovered very quickly. On the way back, Yun Chuzhou occasionally made Gung Yi and the others laugh loudly. Ding Lang looked at the four people who were chatting and laughing, and a trace of malice flashed in his eyes. These four people were highly favored in the sect, so why? He, Ding Lang, was also a successor disciple, but why was he not as highly valued? Elder Qi, that old man, did not teach him any real skills at all. Sooner or later, he would take revenge, and all those who looked down on him would die. Just as everyone arrived at the entrance of the Linghua sect, a disciple said to Yun Chuzhou, "Junior sister Xiaojiu, you came back just in time. Someone came to look for you just now. He said it was your brother." Yun Chuzhou was stunned. Her brother? Could it be that her brother came? Did something happen to the Yun family? It shouldn't be. A few days ago, her grandfather had sent a letter saying that everything was fine. Yun Chuzhou anxiously asked the disciple guarding the door, "Where is he?" "Oh right, did he say what his name is?" Yun Chuzhou thought to herself, could it be that good-for-nothing Yun Chuer? That's not right. If it was him, he should be looking for Yun Chushan. Why would he be looking for her? Junior sister Jiu, he said his name is Yun Chuling. He's really, really handsome. I think he went into the forest over there. Yun Chuling. Damn it. Which idiot was teasing her? When did Yun Chuling appear in the Yun family again? Chapter 450. It was actually him. Just as Yun Chuzhou was puzzled, a person walked out from the forest in front of her. Yun Chuzhou took a look. Who the fuck was this Yun Chuling? Wasn't this the head of a black chicken? Little sister Jiu. Big brother is here to see you. Shui Wuji slowly walked towards the mountain gate. It was originally an extremely ordinary bluestone road, but it made him feel as if he had walked out of the throne room. Feng Ming turned pale with fright. Isn't this the red-clothed pervert who stole the witch hazel grass? Gung Yi and the others had also seen the portrait that Yun Chuzhou drew, and they couldn't help but be on guard. What did this person want? Just now, the guards said that his name was Yun Chuzhou. Yun Chuzhou's brother. Wasn't he a medicine thief? Yun Chuzhou felt a bit of a headache. She didn't know what this black chicken was up to. Fortunately, the guards at the gate hadn't seen the portrait, or else it would have been chaotic. Yun Chuzhou said to Feng Ming and the others, things are a little complicated. I will go over there and have a few words with him. Please wait for me for a moment. Feng Ming grabbed Yun Chuzhou's arm. Little sister Jiu, his spiritual power is unfathomable. Don't worry, it's fine. If he wanted to kill me, he would have done it long ago. Feng Ming saw Yun Chuzhou's firm attitude, so he had to let go and looked at Shui Wuji in the distance warily. Yun Chuzhou walked in front of Shui Wuji and frowned. Brother Wuji, what are you doing? Why don't I remember that I have a brother named Yun Chuling? Little sister Jiu, the last time I did something wrong, I thought about it and decided to make it up to you. So I've decided to stay in the Linghua faction from now on. If anyone dares to bully you, I'll help you beat them up. Shui Wuji said affectionately and flipped his hair. Yun Chujiu only felt thunder rolling in the sky. What was wrong with this black chicken's head? Stay in the Linghua faction. You don't want to do anything else? The Blood Demon faction doesn't care anymore. Besides, even if you're my brother, you can't say that you'll stay in the Linghua faction just because you want to. I'll leave if I have something to do, and I'll stay with you if I have nothing to do. As for how to convince the sect leader of the Linghua faction, I have my own ways. I'm just here to ask for little sister Jiu's opinion. If you don't agree, I'll immediately leave. Shui Wuji thought about it and felt that he had to have a chance to get close to Yun Chujiu first, only then could he find out the reason for Di Baiming's great increase in cultivation strength. Thus, he thought of such a good idea. Yun Chujiu was just about to refuse when Shui Wuji said, if I stay in the Linghua sect for one day, I'll pay little sister Jiu 10,000 low-grade spirit stones, and I promise I won't do anything to harm the Linghua sect. 10,000? Brother Wuji, I think you'd better be the sect leader of your blood demon sect. 50,000. I don't need a brother. My 4th, 6th and 8th brothers are all in the Linghua sect. 100,000. Big brother. You're finally here. Little Jiu missed you so much. Shui Wuji gritted his teeth. This guy was really greedy. 100,000 a day, 3 million a month. My heart hurts so much. Yun Chujiu thought to herself that even if she didn't agree, this Wuji would come up with some other scheme. He could not be convinced once he made up his mind. Why not make some money to spend? Brother Black Chicken, there's something I have to tell you. The last time you stole the witch hazel grass, I drew a portrait of you. Cough. Cough. So, now that the 4 great sects are looking for you, I'm afraid your situation will be dire once you show up. Yun Chujiu said gloatingly. Shui Wuji suddenly remembered that he had been yelled at several times when he showed up. It turned out that it was this wretched girl's fault. Chapter 451, Just as greedy and shameless, little sister Jiu, take me to your sect leader. I have my own way to stay in the Spirit Radiance sect. Shui Wuji suppressed the urge to strangle Yun Chujiu and said with a smile. I don't have the right to bring outsiders into the Spirit Radiance sect. Wait a moment, I'll go ask for instructions. Yun Chujiu returned to the crowd and said, this person has something important to say and would like to see the sect leader. I'll go ask for instructions. Let's meet again another day. Having seen Yun Chujiu said that, and that red-clothed pervert did not seem to have any intention of provoking them, Feng Ming and the rest entered the sect. Yun Chujiu sat on the chopping board and slowly made her way to the meeting hall. When she saw Master Xianyuan, she shouted, Master Xianyuan. The red-clothed pervert who stole the herbs is here. What? Where is he? Where is he? Master Xianyuan was shocked. Master Xianyuan, calm down. Listen to me. This black-headed chicken actually has some grudges with my Prince Charming. However, he was scared by my Prince Charming, so he doesn't dare to kill me now. However, I don't know what's wrong with him. Now, he wants to pretend to be my brother and calls himself Yun Chuling. He even wants to enter our Spirit Radiance sect to be a disciple and wants to meet you now. Do you want to see him? Master Xianyuan was confused when he heard that. What nonsense! However, with this red-clothed pervert's spiritual power, even if he sneaked in, he would not be able to do anything about it. Since he wanted to go through the right path, then he should not do anything too extreme. There was no harm in meeting him. Alright, let him in. Master Xianyuan decided to meet him first. Yun Chujiu once again exited the mountain gate. After showing Master Xuanyuan's token, she brought Shui Wuji into Spirit Radiance sect. Xue Wuji's bewitching temperament, handsome face, and superb spirit energy instantly became the focus of everyone's attention. However, some people who had seen the portrait very quickly recognized it. Isn't this the medicine thief? Why is he walking with Yun Chuzhou and swaggering into Spirit Radiance sect? When Xue Wuji met Master Xianyuan, he only cupped his hands slightly. Greetings, Master Xianyuan. I am Yun Chuling, Yun Chujia's long-lost elder brother. The last time I came to your sect to borrow the witch hazel grass fruit, I found out that I had family. Therefore, I've decided to join your sect and make up for my mistakes. The corner of Master Xuanyuan's eyes twitched violently. Please, even if you're making up a lie, can't you make a better one? Why does your story sound like a joke? Master Xianyuan, in order to express my regret, am willing to compensate your sect with 10 earth-grade, high-quality herbs. Moreover, they all have living roots and can be cultivated on the spot. Moreover, I guarantee that I will absolutely not do anything to harm your sect. Master Xuanyuan's furrowed brows immediately relaxed. A smile bloomed across his old face. So this is little Zhou's brother. Since that's the case, we'll make a special exception. You can also be elder Sun Buzhong disciple. If you pay a little extra, I will remove the arrest warrant tomorrow and explain the reason to everyone. Xue Wuji finally understood why this stinky girl was doing so well in the Spirit Radiance sect. Master Xianyuan was simply as greedy and shameless as that stinky girl, Yun Chuzhou. In the end, the two of them bargained, and Xue Wuji paid another 1 million low-grade spirit stones to clear his name. Xue Wuji asked for the courtyard next to Yun Chuzhou to be his dormitory and was prepping to benefit from being close with someone influential. Unfortunately, before he could live there, that courtyard caught fire. Not only was the courtyard burned down, but the next, and the next, and the next courtyards were all burned down. Xue Wuji had no choice but to find a courtyard a few miles away from Yun Chuzhou to live in. Anfeng and Shadow Agent Huahua looked at each other in the corner. Although their goals were different, they arrived at the same destination with different routes. Chapter 452, This game of chess has to be played slowly. And Feng burned down the house because he was afraid that Xue Wuji would live too close to Yun Chuzhou, while Shadow Agent Huahua was afraid that his foolish young master would be tricked by Yun Chuzhou. And Feng and Shadow Agent Huahua smiled when they met each other. They had temporarily formed an alliance. Moreover, these protectors had to have someone to talk to, right? In order to test his charm, Xue Wuji frequently flirted with girls. He was surrounded by a group of female disciples all day long. Some of those who originally liked Feng Ming also changed their stance. They felt that Yun Chuling was really too charming. As long as he took a glance at her, they would feel numb all over and make their hearts itch. After Xue Wuji verified that his charm was still abnormally overpowering, he began to frequently court Yun Chuzhou. Therefore, some female disciples discovered that the fruit in Yun Chujia's mouth was given to young Master Yun by them. Isn't the snack in Yun Chujia's hand given to young Master Yun by me this morning? Why did the handkerchief in Yun Chujia's hand look so familiar? Didn't I stay up all night embroidering it? Although everyone was very angry, she was Yun Chujia's brother. They should not care less if her brother gave her something, right? However, was Yun Chuling not treating Yun Chuzhou too well? Why did he not treat the other siblings of the Yun family so well too? Also, that little girl, Yun Chuzhou, actually called young Master Yun something like Elder Brother Wuji. Could this be another name of young Master Yun? The next day, a female disciple called out to Xue Wuji in a delicate manner, Senior Brother Wuji. Before the female disciple could finish her sentence, Xue Wuji flung her away with a flick of his sleeve. Xue Wuji glanced at the female disciples around him with a devilish charm. Wuji is a term only used by little sister Zhou. If I hear anyone calling me that again, I won't be so polite. Half of the fangirls were scared away. Senior Brother Feng Ming was still the best. At least Senior Brother Feng Ming would not fling them away like that. This Yun Chuling was really too temperamental. By Moru, who was standing in the distance, grabbed the corner of her clothes and looked at Shui Wuji with infatuation. Senior sister Yun, is that Yun Chuling really a member of your Yun family? Yun Chushan sneered. How's that possible? I've never heard that our Yun family has a missing child. Bai Morris' eyes lit up. If she really was a member of the Yun family, her grandfather would definitely not agree with their relationship. However, if he was not a member of the Yun family, then there was hope for her. Senior sister Yun, then why would he pretend to be from the Yun family? It definitely has something to do with Yun Chuzhou. Maybe he's that little slut's lover who found a way to stay by her side. Yun Chushan's eyes were filled with jealousy. Whether it was young Master Di, senior brother Feng Ming, or this so-called Yun Chuling, they all revolved around that slut. How hateful. What? Didn't Yun Chuzhou pair up with that young Master Di already? Why is she hooking up with this senior brother Yun? It's not like you don't know that little bitch has been chasing after your brother ever since she was young. Who knows what kind of dirty tricks she used to attract so many people. When Bai Moru heard Yun Chushan say this, her eyes looked as if they were poisoned as she looked at Yun Chuzhou. She must get her brother to think of a way to get rid of this Yun Chuzhou. Bai Moru could not wait to find Bai Moyu. Brother, that bitch Yun Chuzhou is becoming more and more ostentatious. The rumors we spread didn't affect her at all. You should think of a way quickly. Otherwise, when that old bastard Sun Buzhong comes out of seclusion, we won't have a chance to deal with Yun Chuzhou anymore. Bai Moyu sneered. Moru, you don't have to be anxious. We have to play this game slowly. Brother, what do you mean by game? How do you want to deal with Yun Chuzhou? Bai Moru wanted to get rid of Yun Chuzhou immediately so that she could find an opportunity to get close to Shui Wuji. You think what we did in the past is useless? Wrong. Not only is it useful, it's also very effective. It's like boiling a fish in warm water. In the beginning, the fish doesn't feel anything, but by the time it does, it's already too late. There are many inner disciples who are dissatisfied with Yun Chuzhou. These dissatisfactions are like a plague. Slowly, even the core disciples would feel that Yun Chuzhou isn't on the same level as them. Sooner or later, these dissatisfactions will erupt. When that time comes, Yun Chuzhou's reputation will be ruined. Bai Moyu said coldly. Chapter 453, Bai Moyu's calculations, but brother, this is too slow. Who knows when it will erupt? Moreover, the 4 great sects competition will be held in a few days. What if Yun Chuzhou's lackeys have great luck and gets good results? Everyone's dissatisfaction will be gone. Bai Moru wished that she could kill Yun Chuzhou immediately. Bai Moyu sneered, the 4 great sects competition is different from the last Mystic Realm trial. She won't always have such good luck. Moreover, perhaps someone will kill Yun Chuzhou for us without us taking action. Who? Bai Moru's eyes lit up. Zhuo Piaoyu. Bai Moru was discouraged. Brother, don't joke. Although Zhuo Piaoyu had a dispute with Yun Chuzhou a few days ago, I heard that Yun Chuzhou saved Zhuo Piaoyu in Eupatorium Valley. Zhuo Piaoyu has a weak personality and is kind. How could she kill Yun Chuzhou? Weak personality. Kind. Moru, you're too gullible to believe what you see on the surface. No matter how good a person is, he will have flaws. When everyone says that someone is good, he must be faking it. Zhuo Piaoyu is such a person. Bai Moyu saw that Bai Moru still did not believe him, so he continued speaking. Even if Zhuo Piaoyu won't make a move, there's still one person who will definitely make a move. Bai Moru's spirit was roused. Who else? I brought back a few fire edelweiss from the fire cave. A few days ago, when Ding Lang and I were chatting, I pretended to accidentally slip up. He used a bottle of spirit-gathering pills to exchange for those few fire edelweiss. As far as I know, the fire edelweiss has no other uses other than making poisonous pills that can cause sudden death. I heard from him that he was very dissatisfied with Yun Chuzhou being valued by Elder Qi. Why do you think he wanted the fire Edelweiss? Baimoru said happily, needless to say, he definitely wants to kill Yun Chujo. Ha ha ha. That's great. However, big brother, if the truth were to be exposed, would it implicate you? No one saw me pluck the fire Edelweiss back then. Besides, although fire Edelweiss isn't very common in the world, it can still be bought. They might not ask about the source. If Ding Lang drags me into this, he'll say that I thought Ding Lang would use it to study pharmacology. No one can do anything to me. Bai Maoyu had already thought of a way out. Whether Yun Chujo dies or not, it has nothing to do with me. Brother, you're too smart. I hope that Ding Lang can do his best and poison Yun Chujo to death. This way, I can get close to young Master Yun. Bai Moyu's expression changed. Moru, anyone in the Spirit Radiance sect can do, but don't get close to that Yun Chuling. Bai Moru was stunned. Why not, brother? Is it because he's a member of the Yun family? I've asked Yun Chushan. He's not a member of the Yun family at all. Whether he's a member of the Yun family or not, he's not someone you can afford to provoke. Didn't you notice that the elders in the sect were a little afraid of him? Back then, the four great sects had wanted to capture this person, but they did not manage to capture him. He's definitely not as simple as he looks. This sister of his was really stupid. If she was not his biological sister, he would strangle her to death. She never gets anything right, and in fact, ruins everything. Bai Maoyu stared coldly at Bai Moru. She could only nod her head, but she did not think much of it. It was not as scary as it sounded. She saw that young Master Yun was always smiling. Even though he had thrown a female disciple, that was because she had overestimated herself and called him senior brother Wuji. She deserved it. Shui Wuji, who was being targeted by Bai Moru, was in Yun Chuji's courtyard. Yes, he was fighting the landlord. Hua Hua, are you a pig? Why didn't you use the good cards? Now, this smelly little Jiu has won again. Shadow Agent Hua Hua shrunk his neck. He was on the verge of breaking down. I said I didn't want to play, but you insisted on letting me play. If I lost, it would be my fault. You played more badly than anyone else, and you still have the nerve to scold me? After losing tens of thousands of spirit stones, Shui Wuji snorted coldly. Hua Hua, this game sucks. Next time when Di Baiming comes, the three of us will play. Shadow Agent Hua Hua thought to himself, young master, I've won. Yun Chujo has also won. You're the only one who lost, and you actually have the nerve to shift the blame on me? Why are you still waiting for Di Baiming to come and play with you? Won't he and Yun Chujo gang up on you until you're dead? Why don't you learn your lesson? Chapter 454, Let's Chat, Little Sister Jio, let's chat. Shui Wuji's eyes flickered. He did not believe that he could not get any useful information out of her. Okay. Brother Wuji, what should we talk about? Yun Chujo was in a good mood after winning the spirit stones. Little Sister Jio, how did you get to know Di Baiming, that expressionless guy? That guy is famous for being very fussy. Why is it that he gets along well with you? Little Sister Jio, please satisfy my curiosity. Shui Wuji pretended to be gossipy and asked. Yun Chujo blinked her eyes. Actually, it's a long story. I was tricked by that Bai Maoyu to go into the demonic beast forest. Wait. Little Sister Jio, are you kidding me? How could someone lie to you? How's that possible? Shui Wuji's face was full of disbelief. Sigh. Who hasn't met a few scumbags when they were young? I was also muddle-headed back then. Shui Wuji almost spat out the tea in his mouth. Young? Back then? Come on, you're only 12 now, alright? Yun Chujo glared. Are you listening or not? Yes. Yes. I'm listening. Little Sister Jio, please continue. Shui Wuji put down the teacup and decided not to drink for the time being. This smelly girl often said shocking things, so he did not want to choke himself. I was afraid that I would be tricked by scumbag into the demonic beast forest. After that scumbag took the spirit-gathering pills that I stole from my grandfather, he kicked me to the ground. My head hit a rock and I fainted. That scumbag did not care about me at all. He just left. The story after that was very simple. After the Prince Charming discovered me, he saved me. Then, we fell in love at first sight. He likes me, and I like him. It's that simple. Yun Chujio sneered in her heart, you black chicken airhead, you still want to trick me? Dream on. Shue Wuji frowned. He remembered the first time he saw Yun Chujio's appearance. She looked so shabby. How could Di Baiming fall in love with her at first sight? The stupid girl definitely did not tell the truth. He came up with a roundabout tactic and asked her about something else. Little sister Jo, I heard that you were adopted by the Yun family. Haven't you thought about finding your biological parents? Shue Wuji decided to start with family ties. Sigh. I don't even know if my adoptive parents are alive or otherwise, let alone my biological parents. I've never had the love of a parent since I was young. Perhaps I'm just an unfortunate person who doesn't have the fate of having parents. Yun Chujio revealed a desolate expression, it was not an act. In modern times, she was also an orphan abandoned by her parents. Shue Wuji was delighted. This stinky girl had revealed her true feelings. He had to work harder. Little sister Jo, don't be too sad. It'll help you look for clues. Besides, even if you don't have the fate of having parents, you still have me. I'll take good care of you. Shue Wuji said affectionately. Thank you, Brother Wuji. Brother Wuji, last time you said your mother also passed away. How old were you when she passed away? Shue Wuji's expression froze, and his tone became low. My mother passed away when I was 5 years old. Brother Wuji, actually, I can understand you the most. People like us seem to be laughing every day, but in fact, only we know the bitterness in our hearts. Especially when we see other people have mothers, it's especially sad. And when it's your birthday, the first person you think of is your mother. Shue Wuji's nose was a little sore. He stood up abruptly and said, I'll head back first. Yun Chujio looked at Shue Wuji's flustered back and thought to herself, it seems that this Shue Wuji isn't as bad as he seems to be. He still possesses some truth in him. Shadow Agent Huahua looked at his young master's red eyes and sighed in his heart. Young master, you still want to trick the little girl? I think it's already good enough that you're not tricked. Chapter 455, The young master learned to be humble. Shadow Agent Wawa's nose was a little sore too. This little girl really knew how to stir up emotions. Her words made him feel very uncomfortable. These secret guards were all orphans without parents. Who would not miss their parents? After Shue Wuji returned to his residence, he felt sad for a while. Only then did he realize that not only did he not get any information from her, he was even led by the nose by the little girl. What a troublesome little girl. However, what the little girl said really suited his feelings, and it was not that this little girl had no redeeming qualities. No wonder Di Baiming liked her. The next day, Shue Wuji still looked for Yun Chujio to get the information. Little sister Jo, I lost my composure yesterday. I'm sorry. I heard that you couldn't cultivate in the beginning. How did you manage to cultivate in the end? Shue Wuji persevered and kept trying. I could cultivate after being struck by lightning. I have a thunder root spirit. Wuji knows that I have the thunder root spirit anyway, so there's no harm in telling him, she thought. Little sister Jo, is there anything special about this thunder root spirit? Yes. I can't cultivate without the thunder element. That's why my spiritual power has been stagnant. Yun Chujio sighed and said. Brother Wuji, I actually admire you a lot. Yun Chujio said with starry eyes. Shue Wuji was stunned. What tricks was this stupid girl playing? What do you admire me for? Brother Wuji, as the young master of the blood demon sect, your family is so rich, but you didn't indulge yourself. Instead, you trained hard and worked hard. I heard from my Prince Charming that you're also an amazing person in the Tianyuan continent. You are truly admirable. Yun Chujiu said with incomparable sincerity. Shui Wuji felt that every pore on his body was extremely comfortable. He wished that Yun Chujiu could say a few more words. Little sister Jiu, you really flatter me. I'm just alright. Shadow Agent Hua Hua staggered. Oh my god, our young master actually learned to be humble. Isn't this too shocking? Brother Wuji, you're too humble. The blood demon sect sounds pretty awesome, doesn't it? As the young master of the blood demon sect, you're not satisfied with the current situation and want to further develop the sect. Why isn't someone as ambitious as you admirable? Brother Wuji, you don't have to be humble. Yun Chuji's eyes sparkled, her face was full of worship. Shui Wuji felt as if his entire body was floating. This feeling is really too fucking good. How come none of my subordinates are so good with words? Each and every one of them is stupid. The smelly girl's words are really pleasant to hear. Brother Wuji, what I admire more is that you're able to bend and stretch. In order to get information about Prince Charming from me, you're actually able to make yourself a disciple of the Spirit Radiance sect. You're really the role model for the second generation of the rich. No. No. Also, Shui Wuji was halfway through his sentence when he realized that he had been exposed. He had been tricked by the smelly girl again. Shadow Agent Hua Hua had no strength to ridicule him. Young master, you should be more careful. A few flattering words fooled you, and you've been directly tricked by the little girl. How are you going to get information from her in the future? Shui Wuji was stunned for a moment, and then said as if nothing had happened, little sister Jiu is indeed smart and clever. No wonder Di Baiming likes you. I'm also liking you more and more. Yun Chujiu rolled her eyes. This black-headed chicken was really thick-skinned. Cough. It was almost as thick as hers. Chapter 456, Big Brother will treat you to a drink. After Shui Wuji left, Yun Chujiu first checked the little black bird in the spirit beast pouch, then sighed, I'm so bored. Little Black has been asleep for so long and still hasn't woken up. He looked like he had gained a lot of weight. I wonder if this skill has grown. I'm really bored. Master, why haven't you cultivated recently? Didn't you always refine the lightning power spat out by that strange grass? The rolling pin asked in confusion. If I don't refine the power of lightning, I won't be able to suppress the spiritual power in my body. If I refine it again, it'll have to rise several levels. Having a shaky foundation isn't good for future cultivation. Sigh, others are worried about cultivating slowly, but I'm worried about cultivating too fast. No one will ever understand the world of geniuses. The rolling pin was speechless. Master, you've already found out Shui Wuji's true purpose. He probably won't stay in the Spirit Radiance sect anymore, right? It's hard to say. Wuji's thoughts are always different from normal people. However, for each day that he stays, he'll earn 100,000 spirit stones. If he wants to stay, then stay. Yun Chujiu said nonchalantly. As expected, although Shui Wuji had been found out by Yun Chujiu, he still persisted in circling around Yun Chujiu. After Feng Ming had been stung the last time, his body had not fully recovered. Yun Chujiu could not keep disturbing him, so she could only make do with Shui Wuji to relieve her boredom. When she had nothing to do, she would play 5-piece chess and fight him. Yun Chujiu felt that this black chicken head was not that bad. Shui Wuji also gradually felt that this wretched girl was not completely without any redeeming qualities. The two of them were having a lot of fun. And Feng, who was watching from the side, was a little worried for his lord, so he sent a voice transmission to Di Baiming. My lord, if you still don't come, I think Miss Jiu will be kidnapped by Shui Wuji. That evening, Shui Wuji came to look for Yun Chujo again. Little sister Jo, have you had dinner? If you haven't eaten, I'll treat you to a drink. Yun Chujo glanced at Shui Wuji and frowned slightly. Why is this chicken head a little different today? He seems a little sad. Brother Wuji, I haven't eaten. However, my Prince Charming doesn't allow me to drink. You can drink by yourself and I'll just eat some dishes. Humph. You follow that facial paralysis guy's orders. Shui Wuji set up a table full of dishes and wine. It was very sumptuous. Brother Wuji, it's rare for you to be so generous. TSK, you really move me. Yun Chujo said with a smile. Shui Wuji smiled. I have to pay you 100,000 spirit stones for this day. How can I be stingy? If you don't drink, then use tea as a substitute for wine. Drink a few cups with me. Yun Chujo was not pretentious. She poured a cup of tea and drank it with Shui Wuji. Shui Wuji did not need Yun Chujo to persuade him to drink. He drank one cup after another and gradually became a little drunk. Little sister Jo, you're the first woman to celebrate my birthday with me. Ah, no. The second. My mother used to be with me. Ha, I really have a chicken brain. This brain is a little stupid. Yun Chujo originally wanted to mock Shui Wuji, but when she saw the red rims of Shui Wuji's eyes, she swallowed her words. Then, she changed the topic. Brother Wuji, so today is your birthday. Why didn't you tell me earlier? If you had told me earlier, I would have prepared a birthday present for you no matter what. Birthday present? I've never received a birthday present in my entire life. You should prepare it now. I want a birthday present. Shui Wuji slammed the stone table and shouted in a tipsy manner. Yun Chujo wished she could slap herself in the face. She wanted to teach him a lesson. There was no need to mention a present. Where was she going to prepare a birthday present for him? Chapter 457, A Birthday Gift for Shui Wuji. Shui Wuji saw that Yun Chujo had not moved for a long time, so he slammed the table again. Little sister Jo, are you lying to me? Where's the birthday present? You've made me so sad. You've been lying to me all this time. You've never told me the truth. Humph. Not only you, but everyone else wouldn't tell me the truth. You're right. I'm the young master of the blood demon sect. People are either afraid of me or they will flatter me. Furthermore, their flattery isn't as good as yours. The moment you hear it, you'll know that it's a lie. Let me tell you, I've never been afraid of Baiming. I'm just jealous of him. The only thing that makes him stronger than me is that he has a mother. And he saved her himself. But I couldn't save my mother. That's why I'm jealous of him. I want to be stronger than him. Yes. And you. I want to snatch you from his hands too. Shui Wuji was obviously drunk, and he spoke the truest and most secret words in his heart. Hua Hua, your young master has drunk too much, hurry up and help him get back. Yun Chujo called out to Shadow Agent Hua Hua. Shadow Agent Hua Hua was dumbfounded. Their young master could hold his liquor very well. It was rare for him to get drunk. Why did he drink so much today? This time, all the big truths have been revealed. Shadow Agent Hua Hua went to help Shui Wuji, but Shui Wuji flung his sleeves and said, "Get lost. I still want to continue drinking with little sister Jo. Little sister Jo, take out your birthday present and let Hua Hua see it. I get to receive a birthday present, haha." Seeing that Shui Wuji would not stop until he received the present, Yun Chujo could only say, "Brother Wuji, I didn't have the time to prepare. Let me sing you a birthday song." There's a birthday song. There's a birthday song. Sure. Sing it. I love listening to songs. Shui Wuji said with his drunken eyes. I wish you a happy birthday, I wish you a happy birthday, I wish you a happy birthday. Shadow Agent Hua Hua cursed in her heart. Little girl, are you sure you're not fooling our young master? Why is there only one line in this birthday song that's repeated over and over again? Shui Wuji, on the other hand, was dancing with joy. This song is good. I've always been unable to learn other songs. I know this song as soon as I hear it. Wish me a happy birthday, wish me a happy birthday, wish me a happy birthday. Sob sob sob, I'm not happy. Mother. I miss you. Mother. Shui Wuji burst into tears as he sang. In the end, he simply sat on the ground and bawled. Yun Chuzhou was dumbfounded. If she had known earlier, then she would not sing the birthday song for him. Who would have thought that he would break down immediately after singing it? She also felt bad that the chicken head was crying. Anyway, at least he saw his mother before. She had not even seen her mother in her previous life or this life. Not to mention her own mother, even her foster mother had gone missing. Yun Chuzhou tried to persuade Shui Wuji. Shui Wuji finally got up from the ground and picked up the wine pot to continue drinking. Yun Chuzhou also felt terrible and started drinking as well. The two of them exchanged glasses and drank on and on. Soon, Yun Chuzhou also drank too much. Stupid girl, although you cheated me of my money and even scolded me, I don't hate you because you are real. Those who flatter me are all fucking fake. Only you are real. Black chicken head, you even locked me up and threatened me with a snake. How dare you hate me? I should hate you. I just cheated you of some money, right? Why are you so stingy? You don't get to bring it with you when you die anyway. Isn't it the same whether I spend it or if you spend it? Stupid girl, you're right. From now on, what's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. Let's spend it together. Come. Let's have another drink. Shui Wuji stood up and poured Yun Chuzhou some wine. He had drunk too much and was about to fall when Yun Chuzhou reached out to help him up. Not only did she not manage to help him up, she also fell to the ground. Coincidentally, the two of them fell together. Black thing. Shui Wuji. What are you doing? Di Baiming's eyes were red and he wanted to slap the two people on the ground to death. Chapter 458, I want to sell your portrait. Yun Chuzhou got up and glanced at Di Baiming. What are you doing? Don't you have eyes? We're drinking. Gigolo, do you want to have a drink too? Shui Wuji wanted to stand up, but he failed after trying a few times. He simply sat on the ground and pointed at Di Baiming. Little sister Jiu is right. You're a gigolo. Are you blind? We're drinking. And Feng and Shadow Agent Huahua felt that Yun Chuzhou and Shui Wuji were courting death. Di Baiming's face was so gloomy that it could scare people to death. Oh my god, Di Baiming wouldn't kill our young master, right? Di Baiming kicked Shui Wuji, who was lying on the ground, away. Then, he looked at Shadow Agent Huahua, get lost. Watch your stupid master. If this happens again, I will kill him. Shadow Agent Huahua did not dare to say no. He ran out to find Shui Wuji like a wisp of smoke. Oh god, Di Baiming's kick was really hard. He did not know where his master was kicked to. Di Baiming grabbed the back of Yun Chuzhou's clothes. Yun Chuzhou was like a bastard who was being dragged by someone. She kept waving her arms and legs. Gigolo, let go of me. I want to drink. I want to drink with the black chicken head. You tsundere. If you don't let go of me, I won't forgive you. I'll strip you naked and draw your paintings. Take them out to exchange for spirit stones. As Yun Chuzhou said that, she took out a stack of drawings from her storage ring. Ha, take a look, take a look. Beautiful man, drawing, each drawing only costs 2,000 spirit stones. For 2,000 spirit stones, this isn't a loss. And you can't be fooled, Di Baiming snatched the drawings from Yun Chuzhou's hand. Well, they were really his drawings. Although the key parts were covered by some items, it still made Di Biming furious. Di Biming put the paintings into his storage ring and carried the screaming Yun Chujo into the house. And Feng wiped the sweat off his forehead. Miss Jiu, you're courting death. Our venerable one will definitely not let you off easily this time. You're too bold. Not only did you drink with Xue Wuji, you even fell on each other. The worst part was that you called our venerable one a gigolo. You even wanted to sell our honorable one's paintings. You're really courting death. Di Biming threw Yun Chujo onto the bed, and with a wave of his hand, Yun Chujo realized that she could not move anymore. The alcohol emboldened her, and she immediately started scolding, "Gigolo. Let me go. Otherwise, when I can move again, I won't forgive you. I just drank a few glasses of wine with the black chicken head. Do you have to go so far? You're so narrow-minded. You always bully me. And you say that you'll listen to me from now on. Bullshit. You don't give me spirit stones, you don't let me read books, and now you won't let me drink with the black chicken head. You're a big pervert. You don't keep your word. I'll send you a voice transmission, and you'll reply with only a single word. Say, are you entangled with that little fairy?" Di Biming was so angry that the veins on his forehead were popping up. "Black thing. Shut up. There is no little fairy. If there is, it's because of a little fairy like you." Yun Chujo giggled. "I'm not a little fairy, I'm a scourge. I'm a scourge that lives for 1,000 years. I'm a little scourge that harms you." Di Biming was about to say something when he saw that Yun Chujo had already closed her eyes and was asleep. Di Biming gritted his teeth. He was not afraid of settling scores. "When you wake up tomorrow, I will teach you a lesson." Chapter 459, What's up with these paintings? The next day, Yun Chujo opened her eyes and was a little confused. Why was the gigolo on the bed? Why was he staring at her like he was going to eat her up? Yun Chujo suddenly remembered what happened last night. She closed her eyes and mumbled, "I'm so sleepy. I'd better sleep a little longer." Di Biming sneered, "If you have the ability, then don't get out of bed. I'd like to see how long you can sleep." Yun Chujo wished that she could turn back time. If she could, she would not have drunk at that time. It was all because of that black chicken head. Why did he want to drink with her? If he wanted to drink, then he could drink himself. If he had nothing to do, why did he want to stir things up? If he wanted to stir things up, it was fine. But if he had drunk too much, why did he have to pour her a drink? It was over. The gigolo would not let her off so easily. It was over. She even called him a gigolo. She seemed to have made a big mistake. What was it again? Why could she not remember? Indeed, drinking made things worse. She was determined not to drink in the future. Di Biming saw that although Yun Chujia's eyes were closed, the expression on her face was very rich. He sneered in his heart. That black thing must be making up lies again. He wanted to see what she would make up. Yun Chujo did some psychological work for a long time before she finally opened her eyes. Then, she said with surprise, "Prince Charming. Ah, when did you come? I missed you so much." Di Biming did not say anything. He just looked at her with a cold smile on his face. Yun Chujo laughed dryly, "Hee hee. Prince Charming, I was wrong. I shouldn't have called you a gigolo." Di Biming sneered, "What else?" "I was wrong. I shouldn't have drunk." "What else?" "I shouldn't have drunk with that black chicken head." "What else?" "I shouldn't have eaten with him." "Just eating? Why would two people be on the ground while eating?" Di Biming thought of the scene from the night before and gritted his teeth in hatred. "It's a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. He drank too much and was about to fall when he poured me a drink. When I went to help him, he couldn't hold on and we both fell. It's definitely not what you think. Even if I roll on the ground, I'm still thinking of my Prince Charming. How can I take a liking to a black-headed chicken? Prince Charming, are you jealous? Ha ha ha, you're actually jealous of the black-headed chicken. Although I don't hate him so much now, I won't fall in love with him either. You're just being petty. Di Biming snorted coldly, HMPH. You don't take a liking to him. I heard that you guys play chess when you have nothing to do. Why are you still playing that? You guys call each other brother and sister very dearly. Sigh. Prince Charming, to be honest, I'm hired by the Black Chicken Head for 100,000 spirit stones a day. I thought that even if I didn't agree to it, he would still think of ways to cause trouble. Why don't I agree to it and earn some money to spend? I really can't find anyone to play with me. My fifth sister and the others are all busy cultivating. Senior brother Feng Ming is still recovering after being stung by the Eupatorium poisonous bee. Do you think I can go to the sect leader to play with him? I reluctantly chose Wuji. You also know that he's really stupid. If I had any other choice, I wouldn't choose him, Yun Chujiu said with a look of disdain. Di Biming saw the look of disdain on Yun Chujiu's face and felt a little better. Speaking of which, how could that idiot Shui Wuji compare to him? Black Thing would only choose him if she was stupid. Shui Wuji's matter aside, what's with these paintings? Di Biming took out a stack of paper. Chapter 460, The Prince Charming is going to murder his wife. Yun Chujiu blinked her eyes and said, these drawings look familiar. Prince Charming, where did you get them? Humph. Continue to feign innocence. Do you want me to remind you, HMM? Each piece is only 2,000 spirit stones, and you won't be at a loss. Black Thing, do you take my words for granted? Yun Chujiu felt that there seemed to be black smoke coming out of Di Biming's head. It turned out that people could really be this angry. This time, it was over. She felt that she had forgotten an important thing. It turned out to be the gigolo's painting. She even said 2,000 spirit stones for each. Ah! Who's going to save me? I'm really courting death. Unfortunately, Yun Chujiu begged in her heart for a long time, but no one came to save her. She decided to save herself. Prince Charming. Don't be angry. As the saying goes, anger hurts the body. If you choke your farts and leave me alone, how am I going to live? When Di Biming heard this, he became even angrier. He pointed at Yun Chujiu while trembling. Black Thing, are you cursing me? Do you wish for me to die early so that you can find someone else? Yun Chujiu wanted to slap herself twice. Why did she not know how to speak at the most critical moment? Idol, it's a misunderstanding. I just want to advise you not to be angry. How can I wish for you to die? I wish for you to live for 100 years. When Di Biming heard that, he almost fainted. Black Thing. Good. You're very good. The lifespan of us cultivators can range from a few hundred to a few thousand years. You actually cursed me to only live for 100 years. Aren't you cursing me? Yun Chujiu was about to cry from her stupidity. Damn it. In the secular world, living for 100 years was a good thing, okay? However, to this gigolo, it's cursing him to die early. Prince Charming, I must still be drunk, so I just blurted out nonsense. Calm down. Calm down. I'll explain it to you properly. Yun Chujiu quickly continued to explain when she saw that Di Biming was almost in a daze from anger. Prince Charming, I painted so I can see you. If you're not by my side, what should I do when I miss you? So I drew these portraits. I definitely won't sell the paintings. Even if I were to sell paintings, I would sell the black chicken heads and not sell yours. When Yun Chujiu said that, Di Biming became even angrier. His hair almost stood on its end. What? You drew Shui Wuji's? Where is it? Give it to me. Yun Chujiu was dumbfounded. Did her IQ go offline or something? Why did she always say the wrong things? My Prince Charming, I'm just making an analogy. How can I draw him? I've never seen his. I can only draw if I have seen it. Clang. Biming smashed the bed with his palm. Very good. Black Thing, you actually want to see Shui Wuji's body? Shui Wuji's body. I must teach you a lesson today. Yun Chuzhou was about to cry from her stupidity. When she saw Biming's red eyes, she knew that he would not forgive her if he got hold of her. She was so scared that she jumped out. Fortunately, she did not take off her coat last night. Help! Help! My Prince Charming is going to murder his wife. Someone save me. Move! Move! If you want to stop him, stop the one behind. Help! Someone save me. That person. Ah, yes, Su Yan. Aren't you coveting my Prince Charming? Quickly confess. Whoever likes him, hurry up and confess. Biming, who was chasing after her, was about to go crazy from anger. This Black Thing is really too outrageous. Good, I don't believe that I can't catch you. Chapter 461, You can take care of this fellow as you please. The Linghua faction had been disturbed by Yun Chuzhou early in the morning. Although Biming's spiritual power was much higher than Yun Chuzhou's, he could not handle the unfamiliar terrain. Yun Chuzhou had chosen some remote places to run, and additionally, some female disciples who adored Biming had dared to stop Biming without fear of death. Although she had been thrown out by Biming, Yun Chuzhou had successfully slipped into the meeting hall. In the meeting hall, Master Xianyuan was discussing the matter of the earth fire with the other elders. Each faction had already expressed their intention to purchase the earth fire. The next step was how to distribute it. Help! Master Xianyuan, help! My Prince Charming is going to kill me. Yun Chuzhou rushed in with her disheveled hair. Everyone was dumbfounded. Didn't they show off their love and affection a few days ago? Why were they shouting about killing each other now? Before everyone could ask what was going on, Biming barged in with a murderous aura. Black Thing! Come back with me immediately. Otherwise, I won't let you off. Yun Chuzhou hid behind Master Xianyuan. She revealed her small head. Who are you lying to? If I go back with you now, you won't let me off either. Everyone, please be reasonable. Didn't I just have a few drinks with the red-robed pervert? He wants to teach me a lesson. Is there anyone as unreasonable as him? Biming was about to explode from anger. One should never reveal one's dirty laundry. Did you know that? He was also mad. He actually chased her here. Forget it, he didn't believe that he wouldn't be able to catch her. When Biming thought of this, he took a deep breath and cupped his hands at everyone. I'm sorry, I was really angered by her. Please forgive my rudeness. I'll take my leave. Elder Chu stopped Biming with a smile. Young Master D, please wait. It's good that you've said it out loud. Little Jiu had a temperamental personality, but her nature was good. Yun Chuling, that red-robed pervert and Little Jiu are just playmates. Young Master D, you're overthinking it. When the crowd saw this, they tried to persuade him as well. In their hearts, they were extremely sympathetic towards Biming. To fall in love with such a pervert, how strong was his mental endurance? TSK, this young Master D was so angry that he was going crazy. Yes, young Master D, Little Jill was scared out of her wits by you. If she didn't care about you, why would she explain herself to you? That's right, Little Jill isn't the type of person to be fickle. Moreover, that Yun Chuling is very stingy. Little Jill definitely wouldn't look up to such a person. Little Jill, come over here and apologize to young Master D. This matter will be over. Elder Chu waved at Yun Chuzhou. Yun Chuzhou blinked her eyes and said aggrievedly, I'm afraid that he will hit me. If he hits me, you have to stop him. Don't talk nonsense. Why would young Master D hit you? Come and apologize. Elder Chu glared at her. Yun Chujo walked over in small steps and then bared her teeth at Di Biming. Prince Charming, I was wrong. I promise that I will never drink with the black chicken's head again. I promise that I will not sell paintings of black chicken's head. Elder Chu and the rest were stunned. What was that? The head of a black chicken was drawn. Everyone wanted to give Di Biming 2 slaps on her face. This lady was asking for a beating. Why did you draw something like that? If you had nothing to do. And it was the head of a black chicken. Yun Chujo added with a smile, I will only draw you. And I will not sell it on the streets. Boom. The old men's faces flushed red. Elder Chu gritted his teeth and pushed Yun Chujo into Di Biming's arms. Young Master D, you can take care of this fellow as you please. Well, pretend that we didn't see it. Chapter 462, Yun Chujia's apology. Di Biming immediately imprisoned Yun Chujo and nodded to the crowd. Sorry to disturb you, goodbye. Yun Chujo shouted at the crowd, traitors. You traitors who betrayed your masters and ancestors. This little ancestor will not forgive you. The crowd felt no shame at all. They should teach this kind of evil person a lesson. Di Biming carried Yun Chujo back to the courtyard. Yun Chujia's intestines had turned green with regret along the way. Why was her mouth always spewing nonsense today? It must be the sequelae from drinking too much yesterday. Drinking would ruin things. Now, the most important thing was how to appease this pretty boy. He was really angry this time. It was all because of that black chicken's head. Are you not angry anymore? The reason I wanted to run away was that I was afraid that you would be mad. After running for so long, don't you feel a little better? Why don't you give me a beating? But, you definitely can't bear to do that, right? If you hit me, you'll feel hurt too, so it's better not to hit me. You can scold me as much as you want. I'll definitely listen to you honestly. My Prince Charming, why don't I write an apology letter for you? I will realize my mistake deeply and I promise to never do it again. Di Biming was full of anger. This torment had indeed lessened a lot. He couldn't bear to beat her up or scold her. He couldn't come up with any tricks, so he placed Yun Chujo in front of the desk and said, an apology letter. Write it, Prince Charming, I'm still imprisoned by you. I can't write one like this. Yun Chujo said pitifully. Di Biming snorted coldly and released Yun Chujia's confinement. Yun Chujo moved her limbs and took out a brush, ink, paper, and inkstone. Soon, an apology letter was completed. Prince Charming, here, a fresh apology letter. Please have a look. Di Biming was overjoyed when he saw the first line of words. After the big 3 words of the apology letter were written, number 00000001. What is the meaning of this number? Are you planning to write it often in the future? Are you planning to write a few 100 million apology letters for me? Prince Charming, my hand slipped, I wrote too many zeros. Keep reading. Keep reading. Yun Chujo thought to herself. She did not make big mistakes, but she kept making small mistakes. This apology letter would definitely be written in the future. Di Biming glared at her and continued to read, self-reflection letter number 00000001. Dear Prince Charming, I was wrong. I was so wrong. With the reminder and care of my Prince Charming, I realized my mistake. I should have not been strict with myself. Because I was soft-hearted and agreed to drink with the head of the black chicken, I walked on the wrong path. I summarized my mistakes as follows. First, without the permission of my Prince Charming, I ate and played with the head of the black chicken. However, I definitely did not sleep with it. I can swear to God on this point. So far, the only man I have slept with is you, Prince Charming. There might be a second man in the future. What? When Di Biming saw this, he almost exploded with anger. He wanted to strangle Yun Chujo to death. Yun Chujo shrunk her neck and said, "Prince Charming, don't be impulsive. Don't be impulsive. Keep reading. Keep reading." Di Baiming glared at her fiercely and continued to read. "There might be a second man in the future, and that would be our son. Ha, there might even be a grandson, a grandson. Ha ha ha, I've already thought it through. If we have a son, well, call him De. If we have a daughter, well, call him De. In any case, it means number one. Am I very smart?" Chapter 463, A Letter of Apology or a Letter of Challenge. When Di Baiming saw what was written at the back, his expression eased up a little. Black Thing's naming skills were really not that good. It was no wonder. The Yun family's name was derived from family history. Look at the names of the siblings, Yun Chuzi, Yun Chulu, Yun Chulu. There was no one else. Di Baiming continued reading. 2. I shouldn't drink alcohol. Although alcohol is a good thing, it is harmful to drink too much. Especially for people like me who have poor alcohol tolerance and taste, I definitely shouldn't drink alcohol. I promise that I will not drink alcohol in the future. 3. I shouldn't secretly draw your thing. Although my intentions are good and art is not sinful, since my Prince Charming doesn't like it, I will not draw anymore. The above was my mistake. Because of my mistake, it caused huge mental stress to Prince Charming. Regarding this, I sincerely apologize and promise that I won't make similar mistakes in the future. I hope Prince Charming can forgive me. When he saw this, Di Baiming was quite satisfied. No matter what, it looked like a normal apology letter. However, when he read the last part, Di Baiming almost gasped. He saw the following words: "Prince Charming, the above are not my heartfelt words. The following are my heartfelt words. First, Black Chicken Head and I are just playmates. We don't have any ambiguous feelings, nor do we have an impure physical relationship. Prince Charming, you lost your temper for no reason and seriously hurt my little heart. Second, the wine is brewed from spirit rice. If I don't drink it, it would be a waste. It is shameful to waste food. I uphold the principle of not wasting, so I helped Black Chicken Head drink a little wine. Is this wrong? Thirdly, I drew your thing. That's because I like you. Why didn't I draw someone else? Moreover, I didn't let you show all of your body. Didn't I cover you with something? How stingy. In short, this incident was completely caused by your narrow-mindedness. However, I, as an adult, will not remember the past. After all, you care too much about me. I will forgive you." Di Baiming threw the letter on the table. Black Thing, is this a letter of apology or a letter of challenge? Yun Chujo said with a cheeky smile, "Prince Charming, if you are not happy, you can look at it the other way around. Just pretend that what you wrote in front of me is what I am thinking. If you really are angry, go and beat up Wu Ji. If it wasn't for him coming to the Linghua faction to spy on you, wouldn't all these things not have happened? Therefore, the main culprit is Wu Ji's head. Go and beat him up. Achoo! Achoo!" Shui Wuji, who was wrapped in the blanket, sneezed twice. It must be Di Baiming's paralyzed face scolding me. That bastard. If he didn't kick me into the pool, would I have caught a cold? Hua hua, I'm a little drunk. Tell me in detail what happened last night. Secret Agent Hua Hua told him everything that happened the night before, including what Shui Wuji said, Yun Chuji's words, and Di Baiming's expression. Shui Wuji flipped his hair. Little Sister Jiu sang a pretty good birthday song. At least the lyrics are easy to remember. This little girl is quite interesting, hee hee. Secret Agent Hua Hua looked at Shui Wuji's silly smile and had an ominous feeling in her heart. Young master, you're not going serious, are you? You're not falling in love with that Yun Chujo, are you? Shui Wuji was stunned and then scolded angrily, what nonsense are you talking about? How could I fall in love with such a skinny little girl? I just don't think she's that annoying anymore. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.